yesterday, do you guys remember what we were going over yesterday? What was the topic of yesterday?
Yeah.
What was it?
External and internal layers.
Of what?
Game.
No.
Like attraction?
Yes. Being attractive, like the external layers of being attractive, like what it means to be an attractive guy. All right, like this is what it actually means to be an attractive man. It's like being an attractive man comes down to these couple things, and we learn the internal layers and the external layers of that. Right? There's no like now here's the game shit. So what I like to tell people on program is like, I mentioned this to you guys already, that the benefit of program is that teaches you how to be yourself. But part of learning how to be yourself and part of learning game is also learning a process. Learning a process for, like how to actually go from opening to closing. Because you can be attractive as fuck, but if you don't know a process to game, you're gonna go home empty-handed most nights. Or you'll end up going out without getting quality of girls. Because like I have a lot of friends that are promoters, like I've mentioned before, and a lot of those guys, when they go out, they don't actually have a process. So they go out and they'll kind of float around and maybe flirt with a few girls, but at the end of the night, they're going home empty-handed. I got to hang out with these guys and they were so attractive, but girls loved them, but they didn't have a process. So what the process is, it's essentially the backbone of your game. Well, it depends on what you consider the backbone, but like the process is one element of your game that's very important, right? This is what's going to convert the attraction you have to results. For example, the girl you had yesterday that you were making out with, or the girls that you guys had that you isolated with, right? Those different interactions, you may think like, why didn't it go somewhere? Well, it's because you didn't do a process. If you did a process, you would have taken it further than you would have before, okay? And it's important that you follow this process. Most guys who take my program, this is the thing that kind of fucks them up the most. Most guys learn how to be attractive to an extent. Some guys do better than others, but a lot of guys never get to the point where they actually master a process. Like the guys that I've had who got the best, they learned how to implement this process in whatever way works for them. So this is a 7-step process. It's like open, screen for logistics, isolate, set up the poll, vibe, handle objections, and then pull to sex location. Now it doesn't have to happen in that order. For example, my process, a lot of times what I do is my first step is open, then I isolate, then I screen for logistics, then I do a lot of vibing, and I set up the poll later.
From here, so like...
It's so popular. I like you, you're funny. What do you do with your life?
I work in finance.
Do you have to run to your friends right now?
Sorry?
Do you have to run to your friends right now? Can I get a drink and you come to the bar with me for 2 seconds?
I would,
But I'm not good looking enough, I know. Got it.
I can't drink anymore because
I wasn't going to buy you a drink. I'm too poor. I said, I'm going to get a drink. Can you come with me while I get a drink? For 2 seconds, and I'll bring you back. You seem cool. Fuck it. Why not? Shall we do it?
But that's not necessarily the most efficient. I just do it because I figured out it works for me. But what I'm teaching you guys is the most efficient, proper, technical way to do it. That's going to lead to you statistically having a higher chance of pulling more. But that's not like you have to do this every time, but on program, I want you to do it. So on program, when I ask you certain questions tonight and tomorrow, you will understand why I'm asking them because of this session. So the reason I'm saying, did you get logistics? You will know what I meant. You will know the 3 layers of logistics. You'll understand when I say, did you isolate the girl? She's with her friend. Why didn't you isolate? You'll understand why I said it and why I'm asking you to do it, okay?
Logistics yet?
Yes. She's here with her family.
She's here with what?
With her family.
In this bar with her family?
Yes.
So how does she, which ones are her family?
That entire table of like 4 to 5 chicks is her entire family.
Like cousins, sisters?
No, like she said one of them is her mom and like that older lady.
What the fuck?
All right, I'm totally down. Mom, daughter, threesome, like, I'm in. But high fives, we'll do it together. Cool.
But she said that she's like staying with them in the same apartment right now. Because I thought she was staying at a hotel.
Okay.
She's not from here.
Okay. So she's less likely to want to be like a slut and fuck you tonight. Did you find out how long she's going to be in Austin?
She said she's going to Arizona at the end of this week.
So what does that mean? What logistics are more probable with this girl?
I probably can't get a day 2 because it's about to meet soon.
At the end of the week?
Yeah, but that's like
The end of this week? Well, it's Friday, so like it's the end of the week already. Does she mean the end of next week or the end of when? So day 2 is not real. It's not high odds, but you could get a day 2. What you could do with this girl is you could try to isolate her to another bar. It is really advanced, but what you could do is kind of a little thing like where you're like, hey, let's just go to another bar and bar hop together, and I'll bring you back to your family later. But you could go to pool. You could do that, right? But this is one where it's a little hard because again, she's like with family. A little difficult. But you can make it work.
I can try. I will.
Mess around with it and see what you can figure out. It's good reference either way. She might went to the bathroom. If you see her again, I want you to go in it.
So what is the first step of the process?
Open.
What does it mean to open? Why do we open? Next page.
To show your intent. It's like, are you asking me to like?
The girl knows your intent. Oh, you can if you want, or you can try to guess. If you guess, I'll say it's wrong, unless you get it right. Low-key
I'm
hope.
reading already, so.
Cool.
Yeah,
So-
it's to establish the interaction with a very high level of attraction.
Yeah, it's not showing your intent. The girl understands you already want to fuck her. Remember, if every girl you approach at night, sometimes during the day, but mainly at night, pretty much assumes that you want to fuck her. Like if you ask a girl what's the time at night, she's like, "You want to fuck me?" Literally. Like let's be real. In her mind, she's like, "I'm a hot girl. I look amazing. My ass looks great in this dress. Any guy who comes up to me pretty much wants to fuck me." Right? It's pretty funny actually. Like even if a gay guy goes up to her, he's a guy, so she's like, "You want to fuck me?" He's like, "Honey, I'm gay." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Can I be your friend?" Right? That's happened like to friends of mine. It's pretty funny. But no, the purpose of opening is not to establish intent. You already knows what your intent is. The purpose of opening is to establish that you are an attractive man that she should give her time to, because you're playing for time. That's what the game is. The game is won and lost, and if you can get the girl's time or not, and what you do with the time she gives you. Right? It sounds really, really bad and like chody, but it actually is not. It's just a dating dynamic. So when you open girls, at night especially, again, you open, and that opening you do, that opener is all about, am I leveraging the time that the girl's giving me? And am I making the most of this interaction? So yesterday, for example, the openers you guys had that worked at first and then didn't work after a couple seconds were because you didn't make the most of the opener. That's why. So remember I talked to you about calibration before you open? That's why this is so important. So go ahead and read the section about opening. Not the rules, but just the opening. Anyone can read. Someone jump into it and establish yourself, please.
The purpose of opening is to establish the interaction with a very high level of attraction. You can cause this level of attraction by fully engaging the girl and establishing the man-to-woman frame directly upon opening. Use that attraction to move the interaction forward.
Yeah. So the goal of opening is to establish, hey, I'm an attractive man. And the more you do it, of course, the more fluid you get at it, right? So like, again, the more you're able to convey that you're super attractive, the less rejection you'll get. The harder it is for you to, so for, again, the example I would give, like a guy who's super overweight and dresses like shit, the girls are going to quickly judge that he's not attractive, versus a guy who's gorgeous, looks amazing, is super in shape, he's probably rarely going to get rejected because he's able to establish he's attractive much faster.
See, where does like calibration come in? Because you have the same purpose, regardless of the scenario, that you want to come off as an attractive man.
Mm-hmm.
So how does like calibration come in? Because calibration is like adapting to different situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how do those two like?
So calibration comes in because the more calibrated you are, the higher the chance you have of your opener actually working and you looking more attractive. Because social awareness is probably one of the most attractive traits a man can have. Being socially aware. That's something you should write down. Being socially aware is probably one of the most attractive traits a man can have. Right? So when you demonstrate you're socially aware, it's subconscious though, it's not conscious. For women, like they sense it. So when you demonstrate, I'm a socially aware guy. Here I am engaging with this girl, and the girl's kind of falling into my reality, blah blah blah, all that shit. That makes you more attractive because she's like, this guy understands what I need to feel like this is okay. And it's very subconscious. The girl's not thinking. He knows this. So it's just you can feel it. And when that happens, then you're able to have better success. So that's why I tell you to calibrate before the opener. Again, the example yesterday. The reason why I told you don't lean in and don't be like, hey, excuse me, and I just said stand exactly where you are and call out to her and point at her and then hold your hand open and then maybe even go to her is because that little tweak made you look just that much more dominant that she was like, this is a guy I want to give my time to. Versus if you would have leaned in like every 99% of guys do, that she rejects. She was pretty cute. So she rejects all the guys probably, most guys. And you put yourself in the same category as them and most guys are not very attractive. Most guys are not, actually. There's that difference there, right? So the calibration is not something that you do because the girl's aware of it. It's because you know that it will subconsciously hit certain triggers with the girl. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's, for example, why on the streets I tell guys to open the girl before she gets to you. That's why I tell them, like, when you open girls on the streets, walk up to them before they get to you, like point at them before they get to you. You saw kind of how I did a few demonstrations opening. I mean, some of them didn't work because, I mean, like one chick, her boyfriend was like getting into a fight right behind me. I didn't see that and stuff like that, but you get the point. I was like pointing at girls and like, hey, what's up? As opposed to in a club. Remember the two set that was like fucking around at the pole?
Yeah.
By the way, the one with the really fat ass, I was very, 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 very close to pulling her at the end of the night. We already talked about that last night, yeah. but due to certain circumstances, I didn't. I'm giving you as the evil eye right now, okay? We'll move on. Cheers, Furman. Cheers. No, but so like those two girls, right? When I opened them, I put my arm around them and made out with one, and then the other one I couldn't. She was like, I have a man. But like that interaction, I didn't open the same way I would do on the street, because it was in a club, so the context was different. I didn't have to be super high energy, like, hey, stop. Like, I didn't have to command her attention. Because on the street, what's happening? On the street, there's so many distractions. In the club, there is too, but the club is more compact space. So I don't have to be like, hey, and match the street energy. In the club, I can just make it very more intimate. So when she gets right up in my space, I can be like, stop, who are you? And that's my opener there. Because it's a club, I don't know have the social dynamics of it, but it feels different.
Wait, so you wouldn't do the hate thing in the
No,
club?
no. Again, certain situations, maybe.
Right.
If it's a more empty club and it's more space and the girl's across the bar and it's quieter, maybe I'll point at her and be like this. I get it. A lot of it's based on feeling. Now I don't think about it because it's just very, like, it happens in microseconds. But you should be thinking about these things. That's why I'm coaching you. That's why I told you certain things. That's what we'll do more tonight. There's a couple rules to opening. There are general rules of thumb that pretty much always work that you want to hold true to. So does someone want to read rule 1, rule 2, and rule 3?
All right. Say all your shit, everything on your mind. Say it once without hesitation. Not high and waiting for a response.
Mm-hmm.
Rule 2, fully commit. Don't assume no response. Don't question when to open.
Mm-hmm.
Fully engage the girl. And rule 3, man to woman. Interact as a man to a woman directly upon opening.
Yeah. And so what does that mean? So rule number 1 is saying all your shit. So a lot of guys, what they'll do is they'll throw like a little word out there and they'll wait for the girl to kind of hang on to it. Or they'll be like, hey, like that. They'll see what the girl does. But it's something I call saying all your shit. And that means basically when you interact with the girl, you should give a complete statement, something that she can hook onto.
Put your fucking hands in the air!
What's up with your pretentious ass attitude, bro? I'm from New York. You're almost as bad as the girls there. Jesus Christ. No, I like this shit. Alright. Where are you guys? What's your name?
You know how in the pickup community, a lot of people, have you heard of the hook point of the interaction? Perfect. You're not poisoned by other theories. Have you heard of the hook point of the interaction? Yeah. Damn it, you're poisoned by other theories. No, so there's a very popular thing called getting to the hook point, the social hook point or the sexual hook point. And it basically means when you've interacted enough, so now the girl likes you. I don't believe that. I believe the girl likes you from the moment you say hi. But you have to give her something to hook onto. So there's no hook point like you get up to the point where she likes you, but you have to start it. You have to kickstart it. So the hook point, for example, like I kickstart it by saying, yo, I love your attitude. Can I meet you real fast? Hugs. Or, yo, you look amazing. I think you're fucking adorable. Right? So the context of what I'm doing, let me get it on Facebook. The context of what I'm doing, who's messaging me? Okay. So the context of what I'm doing is very important. The context of how I'm opening her is I'm giving her a full statement that she can latch onto. So if as opposed to saying like, hey, what's up? Like a lot of guys will do, hey, what's up? And the girl's like, hey. She turns around. I'm saying something that gets her to go, oh? Yo, your vibe is insane. I want to meet you right now. Your eyes, girl. Jesus Christ. Hey, can I say hi to you real quick? Tim. It's my first night here. I want you to say hi to you. Yo, you're blonde as fuck. I love you. See, all that, it's like saying all my shit. So instead of saying like a little line and like a little word, and she's like dismisses it, or maybe she'll accept it, but instead of saying like a little word that the girl doesn't really go with, I'm making a complete statement. A complete statement that the girl can latch onto. Does that make sense?
When you first started talking, you didn't start off being physical. Like you didn't start off like, I love you. You were like, first you were like, and then you said some gimmicky bullshit, and then you were like, and then she was like, not attractive. Again, it's not like being beta or alpha. This is just, are you attractive or not attractive? And in that case, you decided you were not attractive. Right? So what I would want you to do instead is, look at the way I open. And I'm probably gonna do more again in a second. So the way I open, the way I do it, I start off with the physicality and then everything else comes after. Remember the rules to opening? One of them is be man to woman. The second you say hi. Yo, you should be doing your exercise. Okay. You already know this shit. I'm coaching you, but I want you to open because you're at that point. He's at a different point. You should be opening right now and leading. So, you know how being man to woman is like one of the rules. That's what you're not doing. You have to do that. You have to be like a man to woman. From the second you say hi, not later on. From the moment you go in. There we go. That's all I wanted him to do. There we go. Go wing him. Join him in the set. Wing him with the friend. Go now.
So it's important that you're genuine about why you're coming up, okay? Now, genuine doesn't have to mean you have to say, I want to fuck you, that's why I'm coming up and saying hi to you. I mean, sometimes you can get away with that, right? I wouldn't suggest doing that. But it's about what the context of what you're saying in certain situations, okay? But the ultimate rule is don't say one little thing like a little, hey, excuse me. Now, you can take this further, because what I do a lot of times is I open non-verbally. You've seen me do this so many times. Like, I don't speak a lot when I open. I'll just point and hug. Or I'll go, you, hug. And some guys will see that and be like, but you said one word. Okay, well, I don't do game like you're supposed to do game. Like, I don't do traditional game. Like, I fuck around and do extra things. But it's still the same concept. I'm fully engaging her. The overarching concept of this rule is fully engage the girl so she has something to hold on to. So even if you do it physically, if you're like, marry me. That's one word, sure, but it's much different than a guy saying, hi. You get what I mean? You're engaging her and giving her something to hold on to. But you can practice doing this with your words. Rule number 2, fully commit. Don't assume that she's not going to respond. A lot of guys do this. It falls part of this first rule. A lot of guys assume that the girl won't respond when they engage her. They assume like that it's not a response, and if the girl just gives them a little bit of fucking hesitation, they're like, all right.
Open that girl now, the one that just walked the jean jacket. Yo, you should like isolate and move somewhere and lead. Set up a pool, follow the process. It's super cool. The guy who works here kind of looked at me. I don't want to cover the camera for a second or like make it, I don't know, can you at all? Yo, see, why are you bouncing out like you're getting rejected? You're like, oh, okay, let me let them do their thing. Meet the fucking friend. You're like, oh, hey, by the way, I love you. I love your energy. Now, do it now. Tap the friend and spin her around.
You were doing this a lot yesterday without realizing it because you were super in your head. Because you thought, Austin girls don't like me, which is complete bullshit. I thought the same thing when I came out, dude. Like, I literally thought the same thing. He knows. Tell him I was freaking out.
Dude, it's weird, though. It's a different vibe.
You were freaking out pretty bad.
Yeah. Correct, because I got rejected twice, and I was like, that shouldn't happen. And then next, like 3-4 worked.
It just fucks with my head because I'm used to like, I'll open like a fucking 9 in Miami, and she's like, oh hey, and like here I'm like, what's your name? And they're like,
yeah, the vibe is just different. You have to calibrate to it. Seriously, the vibe here is different. You're more like social circle oriented, right? So you have to be a little more chill. And in Miami, you probably have to be more piercing to get her attention. Yeah. Here, you don't have to be as piercing.
That's exactly.
You just have to be more nice and chody, because they're used to chody white guys, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they really are. A lot of these frat boys. Yeah.
Wait, so how do you like not come across as too gamey when you're like?
It's a very common question I get, but there is, in my opinion, it's very hard to be too gamey.
I like that's what I've been told before. Like
by who?
By like Tay mainly, that I was like too gamey because like, well, he didn't see me, but I had to like record audio and like give it to him. So it's like from your interaction, your verbal.
So this is what I think this is what I think too gamey means. I think too gamey, verbally, and I'm supposed to write an article about this. It's on my to-do list to write, but I haven't written it. Too gamey means that you are trying to say things that are out of context because you're trying to get the girl. So if it's in context, I don't think it's too gamey. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
Rule number 3, man to woman. Interact as a man to woman directly upon opening. So what does that mean? We went over what it means to be man to woman yesterday. The 3 aspects of being man to woman. You said having sex?
This is not the example you used.
Oh, that was the example. Please don't take that the wrong context. I'm not saying like whip out your dick in the middle of the club.
The energy.
Yes. Well, there's 3 aspects of being man to woman. 3 physical things you can do. What are they?
Like you're already opening with eye contact. You're trying. If she reacts well, get closer.
What does that mean?
Proximity
and
physical.
Physicality. Eye contact, proximity, physicality from the beginning. All 3 of those from the very beginning. You saw me do it yesterday. Every girl, I'm hugging her, pointing at her, pulling her in for hugs, eye contact, everything. I'm like constantly physical. Every single fucking girl I'm physical as fuck, without hesitation. Does that make sense? Cool. That's opening 101. Opening is very simple. Again, the purpose of opening is to establish, hey, I'm an attractive man. You should give me your fucking time. Here I am. Meet me. That's the the purpose of opening. When you're opening, that's what you are supposed to be doing. Let's get into part 2 of the process. And guys, this is the most important part. This makes or breaks your interactions. Again, I think people don't take it seriously when I say these things. This makes or breaks the rest of the interaction. This is what you need to do. This makes or breaks the interaction. Part number 2, screening for logistics. Someone read it.
Screen for logistics. What is the from there? You mean just the 3 points?
No, go ahead. Yeah, from the
What is
beginning.
the probability of taking this girl home tonight? Can I take her home today or tonight, or do I have to go on a date?
Right, so a lot of guys when they go out at night, they don't ever get logistics. They just vibe. They just vibe with the girl and kind of tell jokes and laugh and things like that and do game. If you don't get logistics, you're being over gaming.
Mask the question when you're getting the logistics. Right?
You said you don't have to, or you do?
No, you don't have to mask. Like you can just straight up ask her, like, hey,
Yeah, how do you know?
How do you have roommates or whatever?
Everything is relative within reason. You don't necessarily have to mask the question, but for example, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do it. Okay, so there's 3 layers of logistics you need to figure out: social logistics, time logistics, and living. So what does logistics mean? So when you speak to a girl at night, there's 3 options. There's one overarching question you have to ask: does this girl like me or does she not? That's the first question you have to determine, and you can determine that how quickly.
Like as soon as you approach.
The second you say hi, like in seconds. Like again, you already know the nodding of the head, the pat on the back, like, oh, okay, all right, all right, I mean, he's my boyfriend. I'm like, cool, nice meeting you, done, I'm out. That's kind of why I got mad at you a little bit when you were open to that girl with the really cute mini skirt, and she in the second club we went to, and she said that guy was her friend, and you were like giving him a handshake. Like, I was like, first of all, that girl's very attracted to you, but then you started giving him a handshake and speaking to him. Again, I'm sorry, I'm gonna sound like a fucking dick here. I don't give a shit, okay? Like when other guys, and it's a girl and with another guy, like either I'm gonna respect him and be like, okay, this is your guy, and I'm gonna bounce out. And if he seems like a super cool guy, I'll be like, oh yeah, cool dude. I thought she was beautiful. Like, have a great night. You guys seem like a really cool couple. Have a good night. But if he's not, I'm going to fucking interact with the girl and say, 2 seconds, can I bring you over here and bring you back? But you went in and you were in this weird little haze of she liked you, was like letting you hug all over her. That she was like, he's my guy. Are you gonna do anything about it? And then you were like, oh hey, nice to meet you. And he was shaking your hand and like he literally let you touch all over his girl. That's not his fucking girl. No guy in his right mind would let you do that, right? Like it wouldn't happen. So like either you know she's attracted to you or she's not. That girl's attracted to you. If there's a girl that's attracted to you, there are 2 possible options at night. What are your options?
Either like get the logistics included that night or set up a date.
Correct. Those are the 2 you can go 2 ways. If the girl's attracted to you, you can either do 1 or 2 things. Well, now me, for example, I purposely don't do those 2 things every time because sometimes I just feel like her logistics and the kind of girl she is, I wouldn't be able to see her on a date anyways, so I won't even get a number. And I'll just get a Snapchat instead. But some girls like that have really like solid day 2 logistics. This is something I rarely go over on program. We actually didn't go over it this detailed probably on our program. Did we? I didn't talk about like day 2 versus like same night logistics exactly right now. I didn't really talk about that. So day 2 logistics is much different than like same night logistics. By the way, if you turn battery saver off on your phone, it will stop shutting off. Sorry, it's like triggering me. But so like there's day 2 logistics versus same night logistics. And then there's just bad logistics in general. So for example, if I meet a girl that says she lives in like for example, I was in Miami. Remember you don't remember because you weren't with me, you were on an instant date. But there was a girl that I instant dated, and I have had her on my Snapchat, this really cute petite black chick that's like Kelly's type that I sent him the Snapchats of. And I was like holding hands with her and walking with her. And that girl, I could not have pulled her that moment because she was with like many friends, and I was also teaching and I had to teach like for 2 more hours. And then also she lived in Jacksonville, Florida, and she was going home like in a couple hours after she went to the club that night. So I mean, I potentially could have met up with her, but I had a feeling like since she's going to be at the club, the chances of her like going on a day 2 or like being like, hey, come to the club with us, and I didn't want to buy a ticket for Live, which is where she was trying to go that night, just logistically, and she would have been with tons of friends at that club. I didn't feel the odds of me pulling that girl would have been very high. So she had bad day 2 logistics, not good for a date, right? Now, there's some girls that have great day 2 logistics. For example, during your day game session, the girl that you met, that you went on the instant date with. Those were actually great pool logistics. I won't bring back the dark past of missed pools and missed opportunities. We're not going to do that right now. But let's pretend that let's pretend that girl was kind of busy and you couldn't instant date her like you did. That girl would have had good day 2 logistics. The reason why is because she's in Miami. She's new here. She wants to make friends. She's a relatively open schedule, works like a 9 to 5 job. All right, so that's good day 2 logistics for a date. So the girls I'm meeting out here, for example, the girl I met yesterday, I met her inside the club. The first one that I opened that actually really worked for me, the one that I got this Snapchat that you guys may have seen me do. The first one that I really opened.
Yeah.
You guys and then I lost you guys for a second afterwards. Remember that? Okay. So that girl, the reason why I got her Snapchat instead of her number was because number one, her logistics in the moment weren't amazing. She was with tons of friends and it was early as well, so she wasn't probably going to leave them for me. Secondly, I'm also coaching. That's always a damper on my logistics. I think it's fine, but that's also a damper, right? And then the third thing, just the vibe I got from her was she was like super party girl. Like I'm college here, and I know from my buddy Alex that the girls here don't often hit up guys back unless they like know them through social circle, because the girls here are just flaky. It sucks. There's many good things about Austin, but that's one of the bad things. So because of that, I got her Snapchat because I didn't think a number would have been effective. But logistics is very important. So there's 3 things you need to ask to figure out what kind of logistics a girl has, because the logistics determine what you do within the next 5 minutes. So the interaction is won and lost in the first 5 minutes. That's a rule that is a solid rule in the game that I don't think anyone else teaches or believes, but I strongly believe that. The interaction is won and lost in the first 5 minutes. Not from the context of the girl won't like you or anything. Attraction can die down, of course. You can't really build attraction up. It can die down, but the interaction's won and lost based on logistics, right? So there's different ways you should interact with girls based on what their logistics are. So tonight we're going to put a focus on same night polling, and then tomorrow I'm going to get into the specifics of setting up dates and getting solid numbers. So the 3 layers of logistics you need to figure out are her social logistics, her living logistics, and her time logistics. Okay? So what are social logistics? Social logistics is basically who she's with, and those are the most important ones. Social logistics is the most important. And social logistics is who she's with and how she knows them, how close is she to them. And there's so many deep levels of this, by the way. There's so many deep levels. Like some guys go really surface, like, oh, how do you know this person? There's so many levels you can go with this. And as you get better at game, you can figure out ways to find out this information even better. So like, for example, I'm going to go start from really surface and then I'm going to go deeper, okay? So the surface, for example, is like who she's here with. Just who did you come with? Is she with the boyfriend? Is she with the boyfriend? What does that mean? Good logistics or bad logistics? Bad. You're not going to pull a girl that's in the club with her boyfriend. Okay, it's not going to happen. If she's there with the Tinder date, good logistics or bad logistics?
It could be neutral.
Better than boyfriend, but
Better than boyfriend, but is it good or bad?
it's bad, I guess.
Unless you're me, because I pulled a girl that was on a Tinder date 3 weeks ago. Haha, bam. Okay, sorry, I wanted to validate myself just now. I seek much validation. It's a personal weakness. Okay. Anyways, I'm still not woke, not Confucius, none of that shit. Haven't hit that yet. Soon. Sorry. Okay. Well, that's awkward. Anyways, so I fucking yeah. So like a Tinder date, for example, girls on a Tinder date. That's not great logistics, right? What's another example? Let's say that the girl says that she's there on a bachelorette party. Would that be good or bad logistics? Generally, that's bad logistics. Like, I don't like when girls are at bachelorette parties because they're all very focused on each other and like protecting the married girl from all of the men that want to fuck her, that she also wants to fuck. So it's like I've never pulled a girl on a bachelorette party ever. I've pulled one of their friends, but never her. That's another level. Yeah. So that's one. But so who did you come with, right? The second level is how do you know these people? How do you know them? Right? Who did you come with? How did you know them? So when you ask who you came with, what will the girl say? Oh, that's my friend there. What's the second layer? How do you know this person? How do you know them? Are they your roommates? That's another question to ask. I'm throwing all these questions out. You're not going to write this down?
It's on there. It's on the.
I don't see any of these questions on there. These are very detailed questions.
Does she have roommates or live with parents, or is that? Are you talking?
It's fine. I think you get the idea. You don't have to write it. Up to you. I think you know what you can take notes on. I'm not saying you have to. I was just.
Hey, I'm
but it is
here.
here.
Not to write it.
Who knows? But so like, are they your roommates? What's another aspect of social logistics? I'm still just on the social part, not the living or time yet. What's the time, Kelly?
Almost 10.
Almost 10? Cool, we're making great time. So another aspect of social logistics is like, how do you know them, right? How long have you guys known each other? Sometimes I'll ask them, I'll say, who's like the leader of the group? I will ask the girl, I'll be like, who's the leader? But I'm always framing it as a joke. I'm not framing it as like, who's the leader? Tell me now. Like I'm hunting for information. It's just like, who's the leader of the group? Ha ha ha. Like it's a joke, not a big deal. What's another question? With social logistics. How long have you guys been friends? Are they work friends? If they're work friends as opposed to close friends, which one do you think would be more likely to pull? Work friends or close friends?
Work friends.
Well, it depends. It depends very much. It depends on the dynamic. Because if the close friends are girls that would judge her, for going home with you.
Yeah, sometimes I see girls with like their coworkers who are just there to party, and then sometimes they're with their best friend, and
And the best friend, or sometimes they're with like two friends, and the friends are very judgmental because both the friends have boyfriends, and they're in like a boyfriend mindset, so they don't want her to get laid. Happens a lot. Happened to me in Miami actually. The night that I ended up pulling that chick with the glasses when I was on New Year's, the way that happened was that other girl that she was with, remember her friend that she had come with?
Yeah.
The friend's boyfriend was in Miami.
Oh. Wow.
And he was there that night. And the friend was trying to cockblock her. And I asked her, I just had a moment of like honesty. I was like, why is your friend trying to cockblock you? She's literally with her friend. She's going to be safe. She's cool. I think that she knows that I'm like a normal person, and you know I'm a normal person as well, so why is she trying to pull you away from me? Is it because she doesn't want you to have fun? It was really like diabolical what I did. But she started thinking, she was like, maybe. And then she went to her friend and was like, I'm safe, don't worry. But so you see how social logistics is important, and you figure this information out by simply asking it. What's important though, what makes it not weird, because a lot of guys fear, this may be creepy if I go too much into it. Volunteer your own information. Like volunteer your own information. Talk about your own shit. Like I'll tell girls, I'll be like, hey, who are you here with? It's my first night here. I'm from New York. This is my friend Abdur. Right? Now it's not weird because I'm asking her, but I'm also willing to give. You can't be the one who's like hunting for information like some predator. You have to also be willing to give.
Dude, also the other thing, one thing that you taught me that like changed my game a lot. It's so fucking dumb. It's so dumb, but it's like worked so much. It's just being like
the simplest things often
like,
do.
hey, just fucking around. Ha. Like if you say something that
it's like a buffer. If you say, I'm fucking with you.
It's like it's crazy. Just saying that little thing. They're like, oh, okay, you're a normal guy.
Correct. Because it's social awareness.
It's crazy.
Now I like to play around with it and not say I'm kidding. But it's a very, very fine line. And if I hit that point where the girl's like, I'm like, nah, I'm fucking with you. Maybe.
But then if you don't say, you create tension.
Well, I said there's a fine line, because sometimes tension is too much. Like sometimes there's too much tension where it just snaps. Imagine it's like a rope, and you pull it so tight, and it's leverage, but if it's too tight, it'll break. Right? So you have to balance it. That was a sick-ass analogy just now, damn. Yeah. Okay, but does that make sense? Social logistics. You have to figure out how she knows the people she's with. Second thing is time logistics. What does time logistics mean? Now, I put these in order. Oh, sorry, I was right. Living logistics is second. Now, living logistics is actually just as important as social logistics if you don't have your own place. You need to figure out where the girl stays as well, right? Where does she stay? How far away is she? If the girl says, like I'm 5 minutes away and I have my own place, you're good. You can figure this out by asking, do you have roommates? Like one thing I'll do a lot of times, I'll be like, do you have roommates? I'm like a grown-ass boy, I have my own place. I'm a grown-ass man, girl. And she'd be like, oh, I have 2 roommates. It's like a joke. Like if your roommate is a joke, look, it's not a big deal. If your roommate is a joke, it is not a big deal. Right? You guys have condoms on you, right? You have condoms. Cool. It's like frame it as not a big deal, but ask living logistics. You need to figure out how far away she stays. You need to figure out what the situation is like. What is her situation? Is she far away? Does she live with her parents? If she has roommates, are they in the same room? I've pulled plenty of times where the girl's not in the same room, which works. I've pulled like twice where the girl actually had roommates in the same room. One time I actually fucked her while her roommate was in the bed next to us. That was very fun. I was like, maybe I can switch over to the next bed, and I didn't do that. I didn't say that, but in my mind I was like double lay report in one night. I got the friend next. I came to the friend while she was sleeping. Hey, psst, you awake over there? That would be a sick ass lay report though, right?
What?
Like fuck a girl in a room while her roommate's like in their bed next, and then you like game the friend and go into the friend's bed and fuck the friend. Plot twist: you find out in the morning the friend was like really fat. You're like, no. The other third version of logistics is time logistics. Time logistics. This is really big in New York. Here it probably isn't. In New York though, like every single girl who goes to any high-end club is being dragged away by a promoter to go to a high-end like after party. Well, not high-end usually, but just an after party in like Brooklyn. So you have to ask, what are you doing later? And find out, because time is an issue. Another thing is like find out, has she just gotten to the club? Find out how long is she going to be there? Find out how long is she in the city if she's a tourist, or like if she's free. Now, a really cool thing, if a girl's drink is full, what does that mean? Is she less likely to leave with you in the next 5 minutes, or more likely to? If her drink is like up to here. Less likely, because her drink is full, right? If her drink is almost empty, you could say, hey, let's go get a drink somewhere else. Because she doesn't have a commitment now. She didn't buy a drink. Or she didn't have a guy buy her a drink. I'm throwing all these out so you guys have these ideas, because these are going to happen when you're out. Like, these will happen. What's another thing? If a guy just bought her a drink, what does that mean? If a guy just bought her a drink and she's clearly not attracted to the guy, what does that mean?
It's better for you because she's not attracted.
Well, it's better for you, but what does that mean logistically? Right now, how would you engage that girl? Critically think about it. Both of you guys can think about it. Someone give me an answer.
I don't know. Most of the time, I'll just be like, okay, this guy is probably just gonna end up walking away.
He probably won't, because he just invested money in that girl. This is a tough question.
Later because she's gonna try to like temporarily entertain the guy.
Correct.
When he like.
Correct. So what I would do is I would open, and what I would do is I'd be like, oh, this guy just bought you a drink. No, it's cool. I mean, he seems like a decent guy. And she'd be like, yeah, I know. I have to stay and talk to him. I'm teaching you guys like the dark side of game. But like she'll be like, I have to stay and talk to him. Like most of the time, a guy who buys a girl a drink very quickly is not a guy that gets laid a lot. Like not all the time. Like that's actually not true. Because like there are guys that like are super cool dudes that are just like traditional. Hey, can I buy you a drink, sweetheart? And they get laid like bosses, like the Captain America type guy, right? But generally, like a lot of guys, like you can tell by the way they carry themselves. Like the guys are like, again, we talked about it, locking in, like standing like, hey, sweetheart, can I give you a drink? Like those kind of guys. Those guys are not getting laid. And the girl will easily take the drink in seconds, but you know that he's not getting laid, and she probably is not attracted to him. She's just using him for the drink. So what you do is you're like, oh, I know, I think you're just like super cute as fuck. I'm with my friends. I want to talk to you later, but I know he just bought you a drink, so just like talk to him for a little bit more, and then maybe like once he like feels happy, I guess, I'm gonna come back and meet you, okay? You will stick out in that girl's mind much more. Why? Because you demonstrated a massively high level of social awareness. It's powerful. It is powerful. Is this making sense to you guys? Or are you guys lost on me?
No, it's like all the realizations that like got hitting me.
Epiphany after epiphany after epiphany. Cool. Logistics is really important. Now, what happens if the girl doesn't have good logistics? If she's like, if her logistics are like, so I should leave this set, or this set can't be pulled, or I can't pull this girl tonight. When you screen for logistics, by the way, you're not looking to see if you can pull right now. Pulls, how long do you think the average pull takes? I've asked you this before. How long do you think my average pulls take? Me.
Like every night?
I don't pull every night, but like
when
I pull,
like,
in general, when I pull, yes, how long do you think my pulls take?
I think every third night you go out.
No, I'm not asking how often. I'm saying how long does it take to do a pull on a night? On average, like how long would it take me to go from opening to close with one specific girl?
Probably like 15 minutes.
No, much longer than that. It's usually like minimum like 25 minutes. Maximum, I don't usually take like more than like an hour with a girl. Like sometimes it'll take like an hour to pull a girl. Battery here is like dying. It's like flashing red.
But does she really stay at like the same? Like it's hard for me to like kind of process it because like she stays in the same like club setting with her friends for that long. Like,
oh, my friend, you have no idea. She doesn't stay with her friends. She stays with me. That's the thing. So a lot of the pull, you're going to learn the process, is that you have to build comfort. Right? So what you're doing is a lot of times the reason why I can't pull faster is because the girl's attracted to me, but she doesn't trust me enough, so I can't leave with her. But once she trusts me enough, then I can walk out. But we're not in the same club a lot. A lot of times I'll go to a different club. And then I'll build more comfort. Dance, get a drink, dance, dance, dance. I'll set up the pull. We'll get into that later. She'll be like, oh, I want to go home with this guy, but she won't be ready yet. I'll dance, dance, dance more. We'll go outside. We'll blah, 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 talk. She'll get a smoke. We'll go maybe to another club. We'll go back inside. We'll dance a little more. We'll sit down on the couch. We'll make out. I'll finger her a little bit, but then I'll stop because I don't want to do too much or she gets buyer's remorse. Then we walk out. That whole thing could take 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Her friends oftentimes will be like, okay, we'll text you. I'll meet the friends too. I'll be like, hey, I'll text you guys. Take my number. Like, I'm a super cool guy. I'm from New York, by the way. Like, I teach meditation, actually. I'm like 23. I do cool shit. I like you guys. You guys seem pretty cool. Oh, okay, cool. Haha. Oh my God. Build comfort with the friends. My girl's attracted to me. They're attracted to me, but I'm not trying to game them. So I just talk to this girl. We'll stay in touch. Do text. Right? But if she doesn't have good logistics, what you do is you have to get a solid number and set up a date. First, just set up the date, then get the number. I never ever get a number without setting up a date, and I also never get girls' numbers. I always have them text me. It's my little rule of thumb. Unless the girl's phone is dead or some shit, and then I will just text her. It's simpler. But generally, I'm always having girls text me instead of me texting them. We're not going to get into how to set up dates right now. We're going to get into that tomorrow. Well, we may get into a little bit later, but yeah.
What if we go out today and like she's free tomorrow, we set up a date for tomorrow, but like tomorrow's like actually never mind. I forgot tomorrow's not day game, tomorrow's night game.
And even if it was day game, you can set it up for after day game. We'll finish day game. What time are you going home? When are you going home?
Probably Monday because
Cool.
I'm gonna be here for this.
So Sunday, we finish at 9. So you can set up your dates for after 9. Odds are girls will have work if they work a 9 to 5. In the morning, they'll have work. How do you know this person?
Okay. See that
Seconds.
explains why like I've gone so much cock block because I don't get that.
Correct.
I don't understand like how they're all related
Correct.
to each other.
The second she's like, oh, this is my friend from college. She's here with her boyfriend. I'm going to be like, oh, hey, by the way, Tim, nice to meet you. I thought your friend was really cool. I just wanted to say hi to her. Can I talk to her for like 5 minutes? Oh, yeah, sure. Ha. If I didn't do that, she would have been like, Sarah, we're going to go now. And then she'd be like, okay, I have to go to my friend because you never made that move. Logistics. The second I say hello, how do you know everyone? How long have you been here? Where do you stay? Not all of them, but specifically social logistics. That's the most important because that's what buys you time.
So do you always do that? Do you always tell the friends like, oh, I'm going to talk to you for like 2 seconds, like we'll be right back?
Not every time. If the friend's hotter, I can go to the friend. Or the friend is like, oh, okay, okay. And then she turns away. Clearly the friend doesn't give a shit about her, which means I can probably pull this girl. Even easier because the friend won't be a big cockblock.
Okay.
I'm reading. I'm constantly reading. I'm assessing what's the chances of me pulling this girl.
So should you like voluntarily like introduce yourself to the friend so they don't cock block later on, or should you not worry about that?
Depends on the context. If the friend often has a boyfriend, the friend's probably going to cockblock. Because the friend is in the boyfriend mindset. You know, I'm not hooking up with guys, blah, blah, blah. So she doesn't want her friend to. It's just like a frame. It's not a big bad thing, but you know, it's kind of like... Or if the friend and them are both like whores, which is very popular on 6th Street, I assume. Yeah. She's not cockblocking. She probably wants to fuck me too. Great. I don't need to introduce myself, but I will because I'm going to maybe go for a threesome or something. I don't know. The process number 3, isolate. Physically move the girls to a different location. Someone want to read it?
Physically move the girls to a different location. The environment provides many distractions. Music, other guys, friends, the crowd, alcohol, etc. Isolation allows the interaction to become about you and the girl. When you isolate, you're able to build massive amounts of comfort with the girl very quickly. So rule 1, lead without questioning yourself.
That's not good. Just now what you did was, the friend comes in, gives a little bit of shit, like a little bit of shit, like, hey! In that situation, I would have been like, hey, friend, I love you. Hi, what's her name? Can I meet you? Like, aggressively. Not aggressively, but dominantly. And I would have pierced through. So in that case, that's the situation where the friend is just, you know, being a little high energy. Handle it. What I would have done with that girl is I would have set up a date for tomorrow. Maybe right now you can't pull her, but that girl is into you. When you met her earlier by the corner there, why didn't you say, hey, come with me over to that bar and move her a little closer to the exit? Did you also try setting up the pole? You set up the pole with her? Did you say, hey, I'm probably going to go grab drinks somewhere else. You can come with. Did you do that? Well, I'm not mad. It's early. What time is it? Probably 12:30 or 1. 1. It's early. Part of the process. That's part of the process. You should be doing that. That's the indicator. Hey, I should set up a pole. That's part of the process. You already isolated. You got logistics. What's the next fucking step? Set up the fucking pole. Follow the process. Do it. Make it happen. Next girl, let's not slip up, right? It's like super, super fucking simple. Okay?
What does it mean to isolate a girl? That's the 3rd step. And this you have to do very, very fucking quickly. What does it mean to isolate? So remember I talked about earlier when you're opening, when you're engaging girls. Are you learning so far, guys?
Yes.
Yes. This is your 2nd time around. Are you still learning 2nd time around?
Yeah, I mean, it's like when you read a book for the 2nd time, you like kind of absorb different things different ways and more.
Cool. And you are learning as well. This is making sense. Awesome. So when you isolate a girl, why is isolation so important? Why do I stress this is the 3rd thing?
So you can like vibe and like build comfort with her.
Yes, that's what it does, but why is it so important that you do it fast? So I believe you need to isolate within the first like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Why do I say to do it so fast?
So that the attraction doesn't die down.
No. But it helps, yes, but no, that's not why. The reason why is because in the environment, indirectly, actually, yes, you're right, but I'll explain. So in the environment, there's so many distractions. What are the distractions? Let's name some. Music. Friends.
Or whoever she's with.
Whoever she's with.
And I guess the space as well, like, you can't.
Other guys. People bumping up into them. Just the loudness and lights. Drinks and alcohol. Who's getting drinks for who? What else? Social pressure. No, they're not anything. Like, some of them are really small, some of them are really big. Other distractions could be what? Just time in general. Like, do you have enough time to talk to this girl? Like, is she running somewhere? Is she moving through the club? Her own movement. So what happens is, it's you competing against all these things, essentially. Like, some guys don't like to think of it like this. They're like, no, you're not. You're always the winner. Okay, sure. Yeah, you're always the fucking winner, but you're fucking competing against this other shit, all right? You're fucking competing for her time. When you isolate a girl, when you learn how to properly isolate a girl, you are taking the interaction from, this is me and this girl. I mean, you're taking the interaction from, this is me trying to pierce through the environment, to this interaction is now about us. So when you physically move a girl, what is happening is you are taking charge of where that interaction is going. So it's no longer falling in the flow of, chaos, 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 I'm another drink, bump against you, do this, do that. No, but when you say, hey, wait, over here, come over here real fast, or come this way, move this way, come over here, take my hand, let's walk, 2 seconds, come by the bar, can I steal you for a second? Come, move with me, over here. What happens is, you are establishing this is about me and you. And the distractions slowly but surely begin to fade away, and now it becomes you and the girl. This is a concept I got from my old mentor. So what happens is, like, constantly moving the girl, and I kind of modified it and teach it a little different now. What happens is when you constantly move the girl, you are able to build a storyline between you and that girl. So it's like the environment begins to fade away because the environment's the static that's like distracting, and it becomes you and her because you're the only consistency in her world. That's fucking powerful when you can do that shit. That's why yesterday, I kept telling you guys, go here with them, go to the bar with them, take them to the bar now. But it's important the way you do it is right, because if you don't do it the right way, attraction will plummet in seconds, or the girl's comfort will flare up and she'll be like, oh, no, I can't do it. The way you do it has to be very important. Which is why there are 2 rules. Number 1, you have to lead without questioning yourself. You have to assume the girl is already going to go with you. My assumption when I lead is that the girl will already say yes. And when we go over inner game mindsets on Sunday night, we'll go more into this. But for now, we're not going to do that. We're going to go over the actionable things you can do now without knowing how it works necessarily. So when you think, when you eliminate the thinking part, you're just like a robot, it works. You're just like, okay, gonna lead. Funny story. So the way that I learned how to lead, you asked me kind of how did you get good at this? Like, what were the epiphanies you had? Here's one huge epiphany. So I mentored Dave back in 2014. Me and Dave, we would, I met him through my old wing, Darren, and he kind of took me under his wing. And one thing he told me, he was like you're kind of like being a bitch when you do game. Like, you're not really aggressive, like taking girls. He was this aggressive Cuban guy. I think he's Cuban. Yeah, he's Cuban. And he was like, yo, this guy, by the way, is like the epitome of like what it means to be an attractive man and like do games successfully. The dude makes like multiple 6 figures. He's like a partner in like a law firm or like a financial firm, some shit. Like, he's just incredible. Dating a supermodel in New York, has like fleet of motorcycles. He's just like an incredible, really cool, badass dude who's like won the game essentially. And I was lucky to learn from him when I was 20 years old, give or take. And Dave, so one of the things he taught me how to do was lead properly. So what he would tell me is, when you're talking to girls, these girls like you, man, because I was always charismatic. I knew how to make people laugh. I was funny. I was always the comedian. He was like, yo, these girls like you, homie. They like you. I'm not being racist. That's how he sounded, okay? It's not racist, it's an impression. No, he'd be like, these girls like you, homie. You're being a fucking bitch, man. You gotta fucking lead. And I was like, well, Dave, I don't know how to do that. And I don't remember if I said that or not, but that was the context. And one day he just told me, he was like, the next girl you meet during the day game that likes you, I want you to grab her hand and take her to Starbucks. You gotta be like, come with me to Starbucks right now. So one of the things that kind of got me to where I am now is every time someone teaches me something, I always apply it to the T, and I will kill myself to practice it. So when I got mentors, that's why I got good, because everything they would tell me, I would always do it. So I was like, okay. So he was like, The next girl I met, I remember I went out and I met this foreign European girl. I don't remember where she's from, but she was some European chick. And she was like, oh, hi, haha. I said something like, I like your look. I said some opener. I don't remember exactly, but she smiled and laughed. What did I do next? I said, I'm going to go to Starbucks. Come with me. And I literally was like, come. And I like grabbed her wrist kind of / hand. And she was like, okay. And she like dragged her along. Then we got to Starbucks. She was like, wait, I can't. And then she suddenly realized what had happened. But that was so eye-opening. Because I was like, holy shit. I literally made a girl giggle. And in less than a minute, she's following me to Starbucks for an instant date. Now, it didn't work out, and I did it so uncalibrated, it was just not good because I was freaking out. But after doing that over and over again, I learned, I did it robotically at first. I was just like, every girl I would talk to that liked me, I'll be like, come with me. Some of them wouldn't go, some of them would. But then I began to realize how to do it properly. Now I know how to teach other guys how to do it properly. So you have to leave without questioning yourself. You have to make it robotic. You have to make it just like automatic. Just like, okay, girl likes me, she smiles, I'm leading. Girl likes me and smiles, I'm fucking leading. Come with me here, come with me there. Hey, I'm going over here, come with me. Hey, I'm going over here, come with me. Come with me to the bar. I'm going right there, it's like 2 seconds, come with me. Sometimes if the girls with their friends, I'll be like, can I borrow you over to the bar for like half a second? Can I borrow you and then bring you back to your friends? The girl usually wants to comply. A girl who is attracted will comply with you. Girls do things for guys they're attracted to. I'm sure you've like heard all the weird stories of like girls like sucking some guy's dick behind the bar, or like a girl like you said like the girl married girl fucking the guy behind the dumpster, right? Like, yes. Why does that happen? Because she's attracted to him. If he wasn't attractive, she wouldn't comply. Guys who are not attractive don't get shit. That's why you were getting stuff yesterday, because you're attractive. And I think you understand it. I think you get it, kind of. Yeah. That's why I didn't mention your issue was like that necessarily. I think your issue is believing that you're awesome, which is different than attraction. You have to have confidence in yourself. But the other issue is, again, the calibration. But girls will do things for guys that are attractive. So if you're attractive, that's why I can isolate so simply. Like literally every girl just follows me around. Like it's a joke. The reason why is because I'm attractive. It's not like my game is so good. It's just because like I'm so attractive. They're like, oh my God, I want to do whatever the weekend wants. Like I'm not bullshitting you. Like this is literally what it is. Since I've grown my hair out and looked better and dressed like a fuckboy, girls literally, wink wink for whoever watches the fuckboy frame. Anyways, just saying buy my product, comes out May 16th. So yeah, but shameless plug. No, but since I've become more attractive, girls are more down to do what I say. Now, I was getting compliance before I looked like this because my game was on point. But it wasn't as much as it is now. Now I can have less game and just fuck around more, and girls will still like just stand around and wait for me to like make moves on them. It's ridiculous. Second rule, the frame is, and this is very crucially important, this is the words. Mention how to do things without being gamey, this is how you do it. The words you use to pull, to isolate, not pull, isolate is, I am going here, come with me. Nothing else will work. Well, that's not true. Generally, though, the rule of thumb, the general rule, the principle is, the rule should be, I am going to go to this place, come with me. I'm going to the bar, come with me. The second you say, hey, want to go check out the bar, that changes the frame. Now you were asking her, can we go on a little adventure together? The second you're like, hey, I think the bar is cool, let's go get a drink. Or, hey, let's go to the bar and get a drink. No, fuck that. Just use this. Once you get really good, you can make up shit. I don't care. You can be like, go silently. I can do that. I'm like, it's just silent. It's funny. Sure. But before you get there, I'm going to go to the bar. Come. I'm going here. Join me. The frame is, I'm already going. You are joining it.
A sit down. So what's different between here?
I'm actually probably going to get a drink. Do you want to walk with me? I'll bring you back to your friends. We're just going to go right there. Do you want to come?
Okay, I'll be right back.
I'm just grabbing a drink. I'll bring you back.
If you're going to go outside and get a smoke, like let's say you want to bounce to go outside because you're like, it's loud in here. I'm going outside. Come with me. You're not going to say, hey, it's loud in here. Let's go outside and get a smoke. No, fuck that. Maybe it would work. But even if it does work, you're not doing it the right way. That would lead to it working more often than not. The frame is, I am already going to do it. Regardless if you did it or not, you should come with me. Now, sometimes, like I said to you guys before, I'll say, hey, I'm going to go to the bar. Can I kidnap you? That's a version of this. Some guys will be like, but you asked permission. No, I didn't fucking ask permission. I said I'm going to go to the bar. Can I kidnap you with me? It's funny. It's a joke. It's like, I'm kidnapping you. Like that's so non-permission seeking. Now, if I was like, I'm going to go to the bar, could you join me there? That's begging. So little variations, sure, but the frame is, I'm already going to go here. You should come with me. That's the most ideal wording for how you can pull and how you can isolate. Even when you're pulling, we're going to get into pulling in a second, Even when you're pulling, that's the frame. It's like, I'm gonna go uptown and drink, you should come with. I'm probably gonna grab a few drinks uptown, you should join me. I know a cool bar, it's like 5 minutes away, I'm gonna go there, you should come. My friends like left me, I'm probably gonna go like downtown, you should come with me. Constantly wording it as, I'm already going here, you should come. I'm already going here, you should come. I'm already going here, it's already happening. Regardless of you, it's already happening. So when you isolate, this is still the first 3 minutes. Open, hey, I love you, can I meet you? Hi, physical, man to woman, eye contact. I love your fucking look, little girl. How do you know your friends? Her friends are off talking to some frat boys. How do you know your friends? Oh, they're my friends from college. Oh shit, are you like the alpha dog of the group? I feel like you're alpha as fuck, girl. No, I'm not the alpha dog. Oh, cool, I'm here from New York. I just came here for like a couple weeks. I'm doing work stuff. What do you do for work? I teach relaxation. I'm actually gonna go to the bar. I love your vibe. Come with me. Bam, I'm isolating. How long does that take? And that's how my interactions sound. That's how they do them. That's not the pull. I have 20 minutes left, 30 minutes. That's the beginning. But I've established that this is gonna work with that. Does that make sense? It's very fucking simple.
But it's like a lot to remember it. You just gotta keep practicing.
It is very simple. It's not a lot to remember. Open, fully commit, and be a fucking man. Say everything and don't wait for the girl to give you approval. Say everything. That's opening. Logistics. What's your situation? Like, I gave a lot of details, but it's very simple actually. Just find out, can you actually do something? Is people gonna cock block you? Be like, how do you know them? I see you dancing with them, so how do you know them? That's very common sense. Third thing is you have to tell the girl to come with you because you want to fuck her, so she has to follow you around for a bit before she can actually feel like you're a guy she could fuck. So be like, just come over here with me, let's get a drink and talk. It's forget the fucking part. Just like go on a date with her in the club. Like I'll tell girls that sometimes. I'll be like, yo, let's do a quick date. Come, let's grab a drink. They'll be like, okay. Process number 4, bottom of page 8. Setting up the pool. How many minutes in are we to the interaction?
Like 2 or 3.
Probably like 10, 15? 10:30?
10:22.
10:22? Okay, cool. How many minutes into the interaction are we in?
2 or 3.
Yes. Well, now let's give or take, it's probably 5. So what you're doing when you're setting up the pool, it's the next step, setting up the pool. You're planting in the girl's mind the idea of going somewhere else with you later on in the night. Most of the time, you are not going to pull girls early. It usually doesn't happen like that. You don't pull girls in 5 minutes. Like generally, most of my pulls don't take 5 minutes. Most of my pulls, like I said, 20 minutes to like an hour. The average would be like 30 minutes. But it does happen early, and I'll give an example of how it can happen. But this is why you need to see if it can happen early. You have to put in the girl's mind what your intentions are. You have to put in her mind, my goal is to get you out of this club. And the way you do it is by setting up a pool. Someone read it.
Plant in her mind the idea of leaving with you and going somewhere else. This is not an expectation that you will instantly pull her. You're instead testing to see what her objections will be later on in the interaction.
Yes. So when you're setting up the pool with girls, where you're going to set up the pool, you're not, the goal of setting up the pool is not to actually pull. The goal of setting up the poll is to gauge where the girl is at. You are trying to see, is this girl down for me to pull her later? So when you set up the poll, again, you are not trying to actually pull her right then and there. You are seeing, is this girl a girl that I can pull later on? You're seeing what will her objections be. There's usually 2 responses. Usually to a girl that's attracted to you, a girl who's not attracted to you, or okay, so there's 3 kinds. So one is a girl that's not down at all, and she's just not into like hooking up, and she's like more reserved. Third is like a girl, and that's actually rare. When the girl's good logistics and she's showing she's attracted to you, most of the time the girls actually are down to like go back and party later and like drink at other places. They are down to be pulled. Whether they will be closed all the time is a little different, but usually you can pretty much close, like I said, 90% of the time. But, so there's 3 kinds of girls. The first one is the girl that will give you the response like, yeah, I don't know, I don't think so. I'd rather just like talk and stay here. Even if she's attracted to you, she'll say that. That's like, I said 10% of girls, 5% of girls. The other end of the spectrum is like the girls that are like, okay, I'm down. When this happens, I'm like, yeah, 5-minute pull, perfect. And I'm shocked because most girls don't do that. But that's probably, I'd say 15% of girls. You'll get that sometimes. That's when you have your 10-minute pulls, your 15-minute pulls, your 5-minute pulls, things like that. Real quick, this middle kind of girl, the most common one, I say like 70-80% of girls, which you're probably going to get most of the time, is the girl saying, oh, okay, yeah, I'd be down, but where is it? Like maybe later, asking some questions. Oh, my friends are here. I have to get up early though. Giving objections and not really committing, but she's agreeing in that moment. She's agreeing to it, but she's not committing to it. I just made a video about this actually today. I filmed a vlog about this. You guys will see it on the channel. We're going to go into this in much more detail here. What were you going to ask?
So I was gonna ask, the ones would say that I'm down to stay here, and just like talk here. Do you continue or like?
If they're hot enough, I set up a date with them. Because I just sent. Now, I don't want you to do this. I want you to just assume that all girls are in either the second or third category. I want you to assume all of them are. Because most girls are not going to say what the first thing is. But just because I've been doing this long, I can just sense where the girl's at. And I can kind of tell. You know what I mean? I can kind of sense what she's doing. So if the girl is that kind of girl, then I'll move on. Well, I won't move on. I'll set up a date if she's hot enough. If she's like really hot, I'll set up a date with her. Yeah. There's different kinds of objections you're gonna get. We'll go into that later. But so how do you actually set up a poll? How do you set up the poll for later on? So again, what you're doing is you're planting it in her mind for later, and you're seeing what she's going to give you. You're testing, what will this girl give me in response? I'm setting up a poll with her. What will she give me later on? How are you doing it? If it's late in the night, if it's late, like tonight, late would be like 2, I guess, 1:30, 2, closer to maybe 2:30. It's so weird that everything closes here late. Or let's say we do street game after the club's closed, because we'll probably do that tonight. We'll probably head to like Dirty Six and do street game after 2, assuming you guys haven't pulled. If you do pull, then great. I actually may have a girl coming out on a date, so I may abandon you guys after debrief and fucking have sex. Sorry for that. But it will be after like 2:30, closer to 3.
Either we all have sex or none of us have sex.
All or nothing.
Just have her do.
Or we could all run a train.
We do the Houdini. She doesn't have to know.
Mm-hmm. Baby, I just want you to wear a blindfold. I'm kinky. Kinky.
Me and I'm too. We're like, they come out of it.
Yeah, there it goes.
We'll call it the melanin train.
Oh shit. That's not. Okay. So, what was I saying? If it's later on, how are you setting up the poll? Hey, I'm gonna go smoke. I'm gonna go smoke and like do a party later. You should come with me. If it's later in the night, you're gonna. So don't forget, if it's later in the night, you're gonna be more closer to the poll time. If it's like 1:30, you're closer to polling than you would be at 12. Again, this doesn't mean you can't pull early, but you have to just test it and see what she says. Right? So if it's early on, you would say something like let's get drinks somewhere else. Come get drinks with me. Another thing I do is to set up a poll is I say, what's your go-to drink? Like, what do you like to drink? Girls will be like wine or vodka or like I like rum, whiskey sours, whatever. I'm like, oh shit, that's cool. Let's go drink that. Or yeah, I have that too. Let's go drink that. Let's go rip shots back at my place. You don't even really have to have it. I mean, at my place back at home, I have everything, just because I pull a lot and I don't want to get in situations where I don't have drinks. But like, you don't have to always have everything. But in these cases, you can make it happen. Now I'm going to talk to you about how to pull to the girls. I will get into that. But this is how you pull to yours generally. So when you're back at home, this is how you pull to yours. I assume back at home you can pull to your place, right?
Yeah.
And you have alcohol at your place?
Huh?
You have alcohol at your place?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You should have
I
alcohol.
don't live with my parents, so it's all.
My cousin has
Yeah.
some bottles, so.
You what?
My cousin has some bottles
Yeah.
of liquor and shit.
Would he be mad that you're giving them to the feminine species? Your cousins, you said red pill, MGTOW, MRA, right? He's like a champion of the MRA. So yeah, your cousin's gonna be a theme of this whole program, bro. I'm gonna be roasting this guy. I won't actually. That's very unprofessional. I'm not gonna do that.
No, I don't.
We'll keep it
I
happening.
don't care. I just.
You're a dick. You should care. He's letting you stay in his place. You should defend him. Damn, Furman.
Because I don't think it's him. You know what I mean?
It's something inside of him.
It's socially conditioned bullshit, whatever.
He's from the community.
But
So
I had a question
Yeah,
that
yeah.
I wanted to ask you. So you're saying.
is this polling shit making sense?
Yeah, for sure. So you're saying like in the beginning of the night, you're typically like just getting logistics and you're like, okay, this girl probably won't pull. Is that what you're saying, or
What?
Or so like, I'm just saying. Let me give you a scenario. So it's like 11:30 or something, and you're talking to a really attractive girl. She seems into you, but she doesn't want to be like pulled yet. Do you stay with her for a while, or is that when you do the date?
What's her logistics?
She's like, oh no, we're gonna be I need to leave with my friends.
That's not her logistics. That's an objection. What are her logistics?
Or I'm saying at least like she wants to stay there for a while.
That's not logistics. That's an
Isn't that
objection.
isn't that time logistics?
No. Time
Right.
logistics is what are you doing later that stops me from pulling you? Logistics is what causes you to not be able to be pulled. If a girl says, I have to take care of my drunk friend and I'm driving her home and she has to be up for work at 6, so I have to make sure she gets home safe, that's not logistics because she physically, the odds of her going with you are very bad. But if the girl says, oh, I love my friend, I need to make sure that she gets home safe and she wants to fuck this guy, that's perfect logistics. It's not stopping you. You just have to wait a little longer for the friend to fuck the guy.
Okay, so if she has.
So she's like, I want to stay here with my friends and chill, but she's with you at the bar and she's left her friends alone and her friend's making out with some guy in the corner. That's perfect logistics. She's just not ready to go yet. Logistically, it's fine. There's a difference between logistics versus the girl's buying temperature.
Okay, because I notice a lot of the times there's like girls that are open like early in the night, and like I feel like by the time it's 2, if I'm not like in a solid set, I feel like all the good girls have been fucking pulled already.
That's very true. No, they haven't been pulled already, but they're all linked up. That's true, though. There's 3 parts of the night, by the way. The phase where you're warming up, where you feel where your emotions are, and I call it like 11 to 12. Then there's the phase where you are locking in with the girl. Here it would be 12 to 1. And there's the phase where you actually need to make shit happen, which is like 1:30 to 2. 12 to 1:30 is locking in phase. It's where you pick a girl that you're like, this one has good logistics, I'm going to commit to her, and I'm going to stay in set. You have to do that. Problem is you're not following the process, so it's all fucking you up. Because what you're doing is you're getting a girl and you're like, she's probably not down to go because she's not down to pull right now. That doesn't mean that her logistics are not good. Logistics is independent of what she says. Logistics is, I physically can't leave because I have a man. Or I physically cannot leave because my car broke down. Or I physically can't fuck you right now because I have work at 5 a.m. Or I'm catching a flight in 3 hours so I cannot fuck you. If the girl says, oh, I stay 5 minutes away and my roommate is fucking a guy right now, so I'm waiting for her to finish so I can go home. Is that bad logistics or good logistics? That's potentially good logistics because think of this. This is what I'm thinking. This is really important stuff, guys. The roommate is fucking someone, so what does that mean? Your girl's probably predisposed to have sex because her roommate's getting laid. Second thing, she has her own place and her roommate's in the place with her. So if her roommate's having sex, she'd probably want to do the same thing, which means you're the guy that could be the potential option for her. However, what did she say? She said I need to wait for my roommate to be done, which means that after her roommate's done, maybe you could be the guy she'd bring back too. But you'd also need to find out, maybe you'd be curious, why not now? Why can't you just bring a guy too? What's the next question you could ask then? You wouldn't ask it right after, maybe the next 2 minutes you would ask it. What's the next question? Imagine, you've been talking to this girl for 15 minutes, you found out her roommate got pulled by a guy, she's here with 2 other friends, and the friends are in set with 2 frat boys. Your girl, you talked to her after some guy got her a drink, the guy left, so you're in set, you've been there for 20 minutes, and you're upstairs while her friends are downstairs. You're chilling with her. You know the situation now. And you found out that her other friend is back at her dorm. They stay at University of Texas, Austin, and her friend's getting fucked in her dorm. What's the next question you should ask? If she's like, we can't, and you try to set up the poll, and she's like, my friend's getting fucked, I have to wait for my friend to go back.
Or do you want to grab drinks? Like, oh, I'm cheap, let's go grab drinks at mine.
That's what I would say. Correct, I would say that. But the other thing that I would be curious about is does she stay in the same room as her roommate? Because that's potentially why I can't go back with her. Okay. Because if her roommate's getting fucked by a guy, she probably wants the room to herself.
Okay, cool.
So that means logistically now it may be terrible. Because if her roommate has the room to herself, if she doesn't have the room to herself, what does that mean? The chances of you having sex with her are much less. What's the other option? She could have a boyfriend. Because think of this, if you're experiencing resistance physically, but she's following you around and doing what you're saying, she's probably attracted to you, but there's some little barrier that's keeping her from just being, did you guys hear that? Yeah. Okay, cool. Probably the guys from 6th Street followed us last night, and they're just checking us, trying to get our equipment. All good. I'll give them the MacBook for my life, no worries. But so like, are you preparing the bottles so that when someone comes through you can throw it? Oh, you're cleaning up, okay. But so like let's say like what happens if she's giving you resistance physically, but she's staying and talking to you? Maybe she has a boyfriend. And if the girl's like, yeah, I have a boyfriend, sorry, I'm out. Not because I don't actually get fucking girls with boyfriends, but because if she's conscious of her boyfriend and aware and not being physical with me, probably she's loyal to him, which I respect. That's fine. Good for him. He's lucky that he has a girl like that. Great. And I'll bounce on. You see all these little things come into play? It happens in seconds. You just sense it. You feel it.
So then if she had a boyfriend and she's like still like touching you, then you're like...
I wouldn't even ask her if she had a boyfriend. If she's being physical, I assume she doesn't. But if she's like, I have a boyfriend, by the way, as a shit test, but she's already like grabbed my dick and is being super flirty, and I'm able to be physical with her, I'll just build the tension and I'll ignore the boyfriend thing and just keep going as is. Does this make sense about logistics and about setting up the pool?
Yeah.
So this is all like very important when you do this thing. You're literally searching for information. A lot of guys ignore this part. They focus on the vibing. Like tonight, guys, if I see you with a girl that likes you and you're vibing and laughing and having a good time, I will burn your fucking set to the ground if you didn't get her logistics. I will literally like make out with her right in front of you. Not if you did it, because that would just be very strange. But I will literally like ruin your interaction if you didn't do it, then I'll like make it be good again after I scare you, and then I'll be like, okay, I'll save it, and then I'll be like, no, get her fucking logistics and pull her. So setting up the pull is really important, okay? And you want to make sure you do it early to gauge what she's going to give you later on, because then is when the hell starts. Second stage of the interaction, the process, part 5, page 9, vibing. After you have done part 1, which is the first 5 minutes, then, and when I say 5 minutes, it doesn't have to be 5 minutes. It could be even 10 minutes. But you get all of this stuff established. The next part is vibing. During the vibing stage, the goal is to build comfort. So remember, you have 2 things. You have comfort. You have attraction. You have comfort, right? Vibing is the next thing. Vibing is where you maintain attraction. You build comfort. It's like the gray space where you're not actually setting up the pole. You're not isolating. You're not doing any of that. But you are just biding your time. So you've already put in the work to like make the pull happen later. You know she's somewhat about it. Well, you have to vibe. Now, many times during the interaction, you're going to come up with many different things. Like, this is not a clear cut. Like, interactions are bumpy. You're not just going to have it perfectly laid out. I mean, occasionally, but it's rare. Usually, but this is the general structure of how it happens. So vibing is what? It's basically building comfort with the girl. You're building comfort and making her realize, hey, I'm a normal guy that if you go home with, there's going to be no cost to you. You'll be fine. Essentially, there's minimal risk involved to you if you go home with me. Right? That's what vibing is. And when you're vibing, there's a couple things. So the goal of when you're vibing is to interact with the girl through emotional relevance. That's rule number 1. Second thing is you're maintaining attraction by positively and negatively emotionally spiking her, but you're always coming back to a baseline of normal. And rule 3 is you're rewarding her investment in physicality. So let's run through these. So rule number 1, this vibing is probably the least important part of the interaction, but at the same time, it's the biggest part. Most of the time, you're vibing with the girl, like that's mostly interaction, but it's the least important part because that's the stuff that really, you're just chilling out and basically being a normal person. I'm not going to go too much into it here because I think you guys are both pretty normal, cool dudes who don't have too much problems with this. Your problem is more so making shit happen. Guys who are socially awkward and like are very like aggressive and dominant, vibing is their biggest issue because they can drag a girl out of a club, but then girls get freaked out and like, what the fuck, because you're so uncalibrated. So you need to know how to chill back and actually be a normal guy. You guys have this already. Vibing. So interact through emotional relevance. What does that mean? When you're talking to girls, essentially the way that you verbalize your interactions is through emotional relevance. It's where you don't talk about surface level things, you talk about emotional concepts,
So
emotional topics.
Whenever you open and you're like,
yeah, it's generally the way I kind of open, yeah. But it's also the way that I talk to girls in general. Like a girl says, oh, I'm a doctor. I'm like, oh, that's fucking cute. Instead of saying, oh, cool, I have a cousin who's a doctor. That's value. You don't want to exchange value with girls verbally. You want to exchange emotions. So she's like, I'm a doctor. Oh, that's cute. Why did I say that's cute? Because that attributes an emotion to her being a doctor. Cute. Why did he say that's cute? If you want to test what's emotionally relevant or not, question, does this make the girl think, why would he say that? If it makes the girl think, why did he just say that? That means it's probably emotionally relevant and it's good. Now, you don't want to constantly be doing this. That's why I say here's rule number 2. You want to go with positive and negative emotional spikes. You don't want to consistently 24/7 be spiking. The goal is to, you have jokes, you tell jokes here and there. I tend to be more of a dick and I tell less jokes. You have positive and negative emotional spikes, which always come back to being normal. I'm not going to go too much into these because you guys don't need help with this. Like, you guys are fine with this. I've heard you guys talk. I've seen you talk. You're not freaking out with this. The other thing is reward her investment in physicality. When the girl invests in you, be physical. That doesn't mean you have to physically escalate. It means that you be physical when she invests. How would this look? What is the smallest amount of investment you can get from a girl?
she's talking to you.
Yes. You're like, what's your name? Sarah. That's investment. She just answered a question. How would you reward that? With a hug. Oh, hi. Nice to meet you. Tim. Bam. You're being physical. Rewarding her investment in physicality. Does that make sense? Vibing can take as much as like 20 minutes, it can take 10 minutes, it can take 30 minutes. One more. Vibing is basically you're being a normal guy. She's like, I'm having a conversation with this guy, I know who he is. A lot of times when I'm vibing, I'm telling her information about like, sometimes vibing can be very flirty and fun. Like if it's a quicker pull, a lot of times it'll be very sexual. If it's a longer pull, I'll get to know her more. It'll be more like, oh yeah, my friends do this, my friends do that, blah, blah, blah.
And so that just goes
I have a family who does this. Go ahead.
So that just goes with like her pretty much body temperature?
Essentially. And where she's at when you set the pull. So when you gauge setting up the pull, for example, if a girl's like, oh, I'm down. I mean, my friends are here, but I'd be down. Where are we going? I'm going to be much more sexual because she's down much faster, clearly. But if she's like, go where? I mean, I'm with my friends right now. That was very small, different words, but it was a different context. So now my vibing is going to be much more logical. I'll be like, oh, cool, let's just go upstairs. Now I know later on when I try to pull where she's at. Okay, so the process part 6. We're coming to the end here, guys. So number 6 is what? Time to actually fucking pull the girl. How do you make this happen? Go ahead, guys. So a lot of guys, this is kind of where they fuck up because they actually yank the girl at the club and they don't close. So a lot of guys actually pull girls without closing. They pull girls and they don't close. This is how you can close almost every fucking time and like never like fail to close. You have to handle objections properly. And this is how you do it. You have to handle objections while you build comfort. Okay? Handling objections while you build comfort is very important. Most guys don't do that at the same time. They either try to build comfort and then they lose the whole pull, or they try to yank the girl at the club, like making her laugh, and then they don't get laid. I'm going to teach you guys how to do both. So go ahead and someone read through it. Furman, you want to give it a shot?
Let's see. Reestablish the pull in her mind. Match her objection with the same objection. The frame is everything is going to be okay. The ability to handle the girl's problems is crucial to maintaining comfort with her.
Right? So when you're pulling, you're going to get objections from girls. So when you're actually leaving the club, so what happens is you vibe, and then after a certain point, this is something everyone asks me, when do you know you can go for the pull? I've never figured it out. There's probably some algorithm, but I'm not a robot, and nor do I wish to be. I don't know how to tell you how to do this. This is just something you kind of feel, and as a coach, I'll tell you as well, I'll sense it. You can just feel when the girl's getting to that point where she's getting bored of the club, and where you guys have had enough comfort, you guys have made out a bit, you guys are comfortable, she's following you around, you've bounced, you're not getting a lot of objections anymore, she's forgotten about her friends, she knows her friends are going to be safe. You can pretty much pull. You can kind of feel it. Sometimes it happens fast because, again, some girls need less comfort. For example, a girl that you pull in 10 minutes and fuck her in the bathroom, who needs more comfort? That girl or a girl that you have to go for an hour with and bounce all up and down 6th Street, then get food and then come to your place before she's willing to go home with you? Which one needed more comfort? Second one, right? The first one was just maybe horny and was just like, fuck it, I'll take my chances, right? So when you please use a condom with the first type of girl. So when you pull, you want to set the frame of everything is going to be okay. If you don't set that frame hey, we're doing this little storyline, the storyline of we're going to go grab wine. You reestablish it, by the way, the same way you set it up earlier. The same way you set it up earlier, you just reestablish the same thing. It's yeah, I'm going to drink wine uptown, you should come with me. So if I'm pulling here, for example, I'll say, let's walk, I'm thinking, I have to put myself in those shoes. If I'm going to pull here, how would I do it? It's always Rona season. Do you want Ronas for the boys? I have Ronas here. What would I say? How would I pull here? I'm thinking. Meet a girl on 6. I'm trying to put myself in a situation where I would pull. We'll walk through this together. So I'd be on 6 or good 6, West 6. Meet a girl. I'd meet her at 1. She follows me around through programs. She sees you guys pimping. I'm coaching. I'll be like, oh, these are my friends. I'm we're picking up girls. She'll laugh around. She'll meet her friends, and I'll reopen her probably. Then I'll vibe with her. And then I'll be like, yeah, I'm going 5 minutes away. I'm going to drink. I think you're really cool. You should come. Okay. So that's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's interesting. That's how I would do it, okay? So I'd be like, yeah, I think you're really cool. You should just come with me. Because I'm not going to say after party because I'm actually not doing an after party here at all. I would say, I think you're really cool. You should just come and chill with me. It's 5 minutes away. But I would be very congruent with the fact that I'm going to fuck her. I wouldn't make it hey, we're going to drink together because I don't have drinks and shit. I would just be come 5 minutes away, I think you're super cool. And what happened is later on, after she was I'm with my friends, and my friends this, my friends that, cool, no worries. I'll meet her friends too, and of course I'd be coaching at the same time. Then I would do debrief. She'd probably be with me at the debrief, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Cameras and shit. I'd be like, oh, we're just doing a prank, and it's a prank. It's a prank, bro.
Dude, some homeless guy was yelling at us don't let them do their prank. It's telling the police.
Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
Gorilla that happened?
Yeah,
That's funny.
The police don't give a shit about filming here. In Meatpacking District, the second you take a picture with your phone camera in New York, you're put that phone away, delete the photo now. It's that bad.
Oh, it isn't. I mean, the strip club.
I'm exaggerating, of course. No, yeah, I don't like New York, so everything's biased, right? No, but so then what I would do is I would just reestablish the poll. At the end of the night, I'd be like, okay, cool, let's go chill. And then what happened is she'd give me objections. She'd be like, oh, I don't know what my friends are doing. I'd be like, no, it's cool. I think you're really cool. I just want to chill with you. Literally, it'll be 5 minutes and we'll come right back. I wouldn't say that if it's 2:30. I wouldn't say that. Sorry, I'm working through this as I'm teaching you, okay? Because I need to put myself into my own pool. So I would say, how would I handle her objection? She says my friends, though, I don't know what my friends are doing. I'd say, no, it's cool. I text them. I have to actually meet my friends later as well. But I do think you're super cool. Let's just go chill and then we'll see what happens after that. So what I did was I framed it as everything's going to be okay. A lot of guys, what they do is they do something called like a panic pull, where they're like, no, it's okay, 2 seconds, it's fine. And they start throwing up the word 2 seconds over and over again. And it just comes across as very weird and incongruent. But what I do is I'm literally like, no, it's cool. Like my friends literally have to meet them too. So now by me saying I have friends, now I'm a normal guy. Because if I have friends, I'm the same as her. I also have something to do. I'm not just trying to get into her pants, right? No, I have friends too. It's cool. But like we should just like chill. I think you're like super cool. You should come downtown with me. Like literally like I'm like 5 minutes away. And then she'll be like, I mean, I have to get up for work. I'm at it. Normally girls don't give this many objections, but I'll add another one in. I have to get up for work in the morning. Yeah, me too. I'm actually like doing a shoot at like fucking 8 a.m. But I mean, honestly, like we're in this moment right now, and I just kind of want to just chill with you. All right, throwing it again. What did I do? I gave her back the same objection. She said, I have to get up for work. I said, oh yeah, me too. I have to do this shit, right? I don't even know you like that. I know I don't know you. I don't know you either. But honestly, I'm taking a risk by like hanging out with you. So, and I think we have like a pretty cool chemistry. I mean, I don't know you that well. So I'm admitting now that I don't know her well. I'm admitting that, but I'm also saying, but I think you're cool and I think we have chemistry, right? So I'm canceling it out at the same time. Again, this is very, very diabolical mystery method type stuff, but who gives a shit? We're learning this. Fuck it. And the other thing is that when you handle these objections, you can't handle them by just saying it back to her and waiting for her to go with you. You have to actually move it forward. So after I say, oh, no, it's cool. Like, actually, I think you're really cool. Just like, let's walk. I'll put my hand out.
Like, okay, let's get your drink and then let's go back to the bar. As a man, this is going to be a really important concept. Right now, we can take a little break from approaching for like 5 seconds, just so I can break this concept down. As a man, one of your biggest assets is the ability to handle problems in the interactions and create outcomes out of nothing. So for example, like if I have a girl that's like, maybe giving me some objection or a girl that's like, maybe giving me a little bit of shit, what I'll do is I will tell the girl, this is what's going to happen, this is what we're going to do. And my ability as a man to do that is so powerful. So like that girl that's like, I have to go back and get my drink, I'd be like, cool, let's get your drink and then we'll bounce back to the bar. And I'd be like, let's go. And I would have gone like this again. Remember what he did with that girl out there? I know you learned that you've been on program before and you understand the concept of doing that. That's what I would have done. I've been like, let's go.
I did that initially, but she rejected.
That's fine. She probably didn't have enough comfort. No worries. But I would have done that move, and then I've been like, let's go. Come to the bar. And then I'm like, let's go get your drink and let's go back. Were you enjoying the interaction with her? Like, was the vibe going well? Was there any tension?
It started off really well, but then it started to like die down as soon as I got to the bar.
Okay, that's fine. Generally, when you're at the bar, were you locked in?
Yeah.
You were locked in? What you want to do is you want to keep really, really massively, like deeply strong eye contact going on. You don't want to lose the eye contact because you don't want to lose that sexual frame. So try to keep that going. I kind of looked over at you while you were there. I saw you. He pointed it out. He was like, he's over there. I was like, oh shit. Because I lost you for a second because I was doing infield shit. But like the way your body language was good, but it wasn't really like relaxed and that man tone frame. It was still a little all over like you were almost shocked that you were there. But it was still good. Not much to break down. We're just starting out. You guys are doing amazing.
Right? Most pulls actually won't be this hard to do because I'm presenting a lot of objections right here. Normally you'll get one or two. Like another objection a girl gets like, I have to get my coat or something like that. Or I have to make sure my friends know I'm okay. What I'll do is I'll be like, text them. I'm going to text my friends too. And I'll be like, do you have your friend's number? Just text them and let them know that you're going to go like 5 minutes away and you'll be back. Right? Especially if it's earlier. If it's like 1:30 when you guys pull, one of you pulls, literally, just like tell the girl, like text them, we'll come right back. And probably you would come back because we have debrief. The other thing, so like I was saying, when you handle objections, you can't just handle it and wait for the girl to go with you because it's not going to happen. You have to actually move it forward. So the girl's going to be like, when you handle an objection, when you give her that response, no, it's cool, blah, blah, blah. So the girl's going to be like, okay. And then you have to make it move. You have to move. The girl's not going to be like, okay, let's go. Again, sometimes, all of this is not solid, like she'll never ever go. But you have to hold your arm out. All right, let's walk. Let's do it. The other thing is reverse roles with the girl, okay? So the third thing is like reverse roles with the girl and present your own objections. So a lot of guys never do this. When you go out, you want to flip roles. So you want to take yourself from being like the buyer. From being the seller to the buyer. You want to do it again. So remember, you can do it with locking in, but you can also do it with the way you talk. So one thing I'll do, for example, is I'll be like, if I'm going to go to a girl's place, for example, if I want to set up the pool to a girl's, I'm going to give you a little talk on that, well, probably when we walk, is I'll set it up and I'll be like, yeah, I really want to go back and chill with you, but I feel like your place is like disgusting. Why do I do that? It's because I don't want her to put the focus on, oh my God, this guy's going with me. I want her to put the focus on, my place is not disgusting. It's fine. It's cool. I can do it. right? Again, it's manipulative. It is, but it works. And you know you don't have bad intentions. Like if someone did have bad intentions, I wouldn't coach them.
I mean, but I almost feel like it's not really manipulative if it's good intentions. You know what I mean?
No, not at all, because that's factually not true. Manipulation has nothing to do with the intention behind it. Really, it doesn't. It's good at getting to an end goal. But yeah, it's not like it's for her own good necessarily. I mean, it could be, but like I think guys who are like, I am the prize, the girl, I'm helping her by giving her my dick. I'm like, I don't think you are. Like, probably not, buddy. But it's fine. But so let's read some of the examples real quick of how do you reverse roles.
Oh, are you asking?
Yes.
Or-
There's examples down there of reversing roles.
Okay, like, do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. So I want to drink with you uptown, but I don't know you that well yet. I want to drink at yours, but I feel like it's not clean there. Haha. If you come back with me, you won't steal my camera stuff, right?
Those are all things I've used. You see that? It's like reversing roles.
Yeah.
It's kind of this little trick where before, instead of me being like, let's go, I'm flipping the script. Right? Very simple. And when you do this again, what's the goal? When the girl's like, okay, she laughs kind of and is like, I don't know. And she kind of gives that little compliance, what do you do next?
Handle objection.
Well, you already handled it. You just handled it. And she gives that little laugh like, oh my God, I don't know. What do you do next?
Physical.
Come with. I love you. Come. Let's walk. Walk with me. Trust me. I promise you. Like, you'll be fine. Text your friends. And you have to walk with. You cannot stand there and say it and be like, is she down yet? The girl's already down. She logically needs to be able to do it. Emotionally, she wants to. Logically, we're going to go into that tomorrow, how to logical versus emotional priming. But she needs to emotionally do it. Does that make sense? Final step. And this I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's just fucking common sense.
Dude, we're gonna post some posts tonight, bro.
Page 10. I feel like this intro is better than the last one we did on program.
I don't know why either. I don't know why. Maybe the cameras. I don't know.
Probably also I have to perform for the cameras, so I have to talk better. That's true. Pull the process number 7. Pull to sex location. Pull talk. When you're in the cab going home, when you're walking, you have to keep talking. So I had one student. I was assisting this other guy on program, and I was with a student. It was the first time he had ever pulled same night. So me and two of the instructors. It was 2 instructors, and it was me and another guy assisting those 2 instructors. So it was like 5 students, and I was with one of the guys, and he had never pulled same night at all in his life, and he's this really bottled up Indian guy. Like he's like stands like this. Like imagine Ash, but like if Ash was jacked and scary looking, which is very different than Ash. But face looks like Ash. He would stand like this and he talk like this, man. He talk like this, right? And he's pretty attractive. He has like a beard and he like has a sharp jawline. So girls would be attracted to him. So what happened was we were in this club in New York, and he had opened this really cute Brazilian chick. This happened in the beginning of 2016. I was helping someone else on a program. He had talked to this Brazilian chick, and her friend was getting talked to by this white guy. So I took the friend from the white guy, and I set up the poll with both of them to go uptown to his. And then we went outside. We were going to the cab, and the white model-looking dude comes to the cab. He was like a good-looking dude, actually. And we get in the cab, and he's like holding the door so we can't get in. He's like, no, but I was talking to them before. And I was like, dude, no, totally. Like, you should get her number. Like, she really wants to hang out with you, actually. Get her number. And he was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. So he gets the number, and I'm like, perfect. Yes, he got the number. Awesome, great, correct. I've helped like at least 5 students pull girls home by telling another guy like, dude, get the number. Like she'll definitely hit you up. Like, you're a super cool guy. Like, seriously, it was my favorite thing to do. No, seriously, like if you guys are ever dealing with like a guy who's trying to cockblock you and the girl is kind of into him, but she still is staying with you, because again, if the girl's not into him, you don't have to do this because she'll be like, this guy's creepy. But if she's like looking at him and wants the validation from him, literally, this is like gold. Just tell the guy, but do it really nicely. You can't do it like a dick. Like, just get her number, dude, get out of here. No, you have to be like, dude, to be honest, like I think you're a super cool guy. Like, you should totally grab her number and go out there. Like, I think it's fucking awesome, dude. And the girl will be like, oh, okay, cool. And then after he gets the number, you don't want to be a dick about it because the girl will be like, this guy's like reactive and just weird. Just be like, oh yeah, cool, no worries. So he got the number and we end up pulling. What happens is we get in the cab and I'm sitting in the front. The 2 girls, one girl's here, one girl's there, and he's in the middle, and I'm in the front of the cab. He literally freezes up and he's like this. In the club, he had been making out with his girl and like talking to her and telling jokes and shit, like unstifled, but he had never pulled before from my club. He had fucked a lot of girls from online, but he gets in the cab and he freaks out because he's never done it. and literally like I'm in the front and I'm like trying to tell jokes. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys know such and such, blah blah blah. They're like, ha ha ha. But then I turn around again and it just goes silent. And I'm looking at him. I text him. I'm like, fucking talk, bro. You literally can like hear the horror music playing in the background. It's like dun 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 dun. We get out and they see like an artichoke pizza on the way and they're like, okay, we want to go grab pizza. And we're just like, no, you don't. They're like, yes, we do. We're like, okay, let's get pizza. So we go in and we grab pizza and like the whole pool fizzles down. The one girl starts like freaking out because he's just like looking. And my girl, the one that I had stole, likes me now, but his girl hates him because he just wasn't used to pulling. And the other guy ended up actually hitting her up and like calling her like 5 times, and she's like, I think my friend would like him, and yeah, I lost it. It didn't happen. Yeah, but so that's an example. You have to fucking talk. When you're walking, talk about nonsense. Talk about like the weather. Talk about Donald Trump. Say we're gonna make America great again. Well, in Texas they would like that. Talk about fucking, I don't know. Talk about Hillary Clinton, trigger some girls, like make it like a joke. Talk about like social freedom and non-racism, whatever you have to do. Like, because in Texas they're like, let's be racist. I'm sorry, I'm being a total cunt. No, but you guys get the point. You have to fucking talk. You have to talk. Tell jokes. Talk about nonsense. Be unfiltered. I'm sorry, I can't give you the secrets to being unfiltered. I don't know. You have to start practice it and just make shit up. It just happens. You have to talk about nonsense. Go to some like improv classes if you have to. And again, when you're pulling, the frame is solving her problems. You get back to your place, put your arm around her, blah, blah, blah. Drink some wine, chill out, tell some jokes, and make out with her, and then have sex. Done. It's pretty simple. I don't have like pull closing routines and all that shit. I don't get into that. That's it, guys. That's how you pull women from the club.
I couldn't eat the entirety. That's how bad I am. It's pretty unhealthy, actually.
I felt like that was it. Don't get retired.
But I mean, that's different. That wasn't betrayal. That was more like, I'm old. I can't even shoot anymore. I can't move. I'm about to go to the nursing home. It's like, fuck it, you know. It's a bit different.
Yeah. What are you in Austin for?
I'm here for work. I model and I shoot videos and make content. So I'm doing that. I'm a really ugly model, I know. But like,
I didn't mean it like that.
I'm a hand model. It's my hands. It's just my hands. Don't give me validation. Why is your phone not working?
I don't know.
If the girl's like showing, that scared me so badly just now, dude. If the girl is like giving you hesitation and not real commitment, bounce out. Like, if you feel that wall, that's a sign. Like you, as a man, you can sense if a girl's attracted to you or not. Like you know it. It's within you. You feel it. Like you feel it. I wanted to give you guys a lesson about winging really fast. I was trying to tell you this before. When you're opening girls, do you like this girl behind me? There. You like her? When you're opening girls, really fast. I want to see you opening. When you guys are opening together, whoever opens first introduces the other one. You guys can't ignore each other. You've been kind of fucking up on this. When you're winging, when you open, be like, oh, by the way, it's my friend. Then point to the other girl. Ignore the other one and talk to yours. But you can't talk to both and ignore him. He's trying to help you out. He's helping you. Same thing, vice versa. Okay? Let's go.
Okay, so first is like the entire like environment tonight compared to last night kind of caught me off guard. And so
you mentioned all of us talked about the environment. So I said tonight, and I was mentioning this to you before I moved. I was saying when I first met you tonight, I was like, I'm having a bit of a rougher night. I said that to you, right? I was like, my game feels a little miscalibrated tonight. And I was telling you that too. Not because I was getting rejected. Girls liked me, but I just felt like I was trying too hard because I was used to last night, Austin, like 6th Street, and tonight it's a little different. It feels different. So talk to me about what you meant by that.
So what I meant by that was like a high energy environment, and like the girls were like more kind of in a frenzy.
So this is more high energy or less high energy?
More high energy.
This is more high energy.
This is more high energy. Especially the club.
I would disagree with you.
Really?
Not even close, bro.
No, this felt way more high energy than the one last night.
Continue.
But anyway, it was it was frustrating because I've like been to this kind of environment before.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same problem where I'm not able to be physical 150%. I'm not going all in.
Yeah.
Trying to be physical.
Yeah.
And I know what I have to do, but I can't do it. You know, and it's really frustrating.
Yeah. So here's the thing. The results you were getting tonight, and this is something I had to go over with my student Kashif. 2 weekends ago. He's actually also Pakistani. It's pretty fun. He was in New York. He came in to New York from North Carolina to take the program. So I went over this with him. You're measuring. There's a big difference between emotions versus results. Okay. So tonight, for example, I said I feel like my game's a little off tonight, purely because the result I was getting from girls didn't feel right. It didn't feel normal. But that was because the result wasn't there. Emotionally, I felt great. Like I had a great night tonight. Like I felt amazing. But game-wise, it just didn't feel a little off. The opposite thing was happening. You emotionally didn't feel right, but game-wise, your game was not off. Like I saw your game. You weren't opening girls properly. Again, I'm measuring relative. Like if I had a night like you, like it would be a trashy night for me. Yeah. But we're not the same. Right. So for you, from seeing you yesterday and seeing you tonight, your game, even though yesterday you like got the instant makeout and you were like on fire, quote unquote, you were like stealing girls from guys and shit, and it was good. You almost pulled. And still tonight, I think you were better actually. Not better in terms of like every girl was melting for you, but you didn't seem like yesterday. You seemed like you didn't trust yourself. Tonight, you did seem like you trusted yourself a little more. But I was pushing you harder because, and I'm not trying to bullshit you. Like feel good about tonight. No, like you could have done way better. But dude, like you're like kind of doing this like weird ass like gay ass like physicality, like where the girl's like, hey, and you're like kind of like just like oh now you changed it when I had you do the little exercise, and unfortunately the girl wasn't attractive. From the the back she looked like an average white girl. But at the front she was like old and leathery, but like she was old and leathery, old leathery white woman. Yeah. But like what happened was you were literally like, you told her, what did you tell her? What did I tell you? I knew it was gonna work. Yeah. You looked at her and you were like, stand, how tall are you? And she stood. She did it. Yeah. That would work with other girls that are attractive. Like that would work with girls that are attractive. Why? Because the frame it's coming from is like fully committing on the open, fully being man to woman, fully exercising entitlement, all that shit, right? Those are all really important things that a lot of people overlook, but you have to do those things on each interaction. So some of them you were doing them, some of them you weren't. On the dance floor, is that more important to do or less important to do?
Less.
No, it's more important to do that. Why would it be less? The dance floor is more about nonverbals. The dance floor, it's more important to be like, hey, over here, like, now girl, come this way, stand. Over here, hand out, pull her towards you, hug her. As I was telling you to assert yourself. You guys saw how I opened that girl?
Yeah, the one
just now.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't see you open her. I just saw her fucking hugging you.
Yeah, it was like a shitty ass demonstration. I didn't do anything with it. Again, in another alternate reality, Tony would have come in and winged the friends, and then we would have said, walk with us like 5 minutes, come like drink with us, get drinks, and we would have gone, and they would have walked to whichever direction your place is, which is this way. We would have done that. But in this particular context, it didn't happen. But you saw how I opened her, just instant engagement, instantly engaged. Now I think that you actually learned how to do that tonight because you were doing it. Like later on, you were doing that. I think that's something that you have to work on. I'm going to start with you, and then we're going to go to you. What time is it? So I can. Something you need to do, and you need to start doing. This is really important. You have to 110% start following the process. So you realized how easy it is to lead. You were having fun with that shit tonight, were you not?
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of happy. I'm also pissed off because you didn't pull that one girl I think you could have, but I'm also happy with what you were doing. You were taking advantage of different opportunities, and you were fucking leading. You were like, come with me, come with me, come with me, and we'll wrap up in the next like 5-10 minutes. Since it's starting to rain and shit, we'll head home. But like you were leading. That was good. That was fucking awesome. But you have to follow the process. A lot of times I asked you guys, remember the 2 set you guys had, the one she didn't like you and the one we keep talking about? I was like, did you get logistics? You're like, no. I was like, do you know where she lives? You're like, no. You need to figure that out. That's all logistical information that you need to know. All of that. It's logistical information that you need to fucking know. Follow the process. What's the next step? What's the next fucking step? Follow the process. Get logistics. How do you know this person? How do you know that person? For you, first of all, you need to stop letting your emotions dictate how you feel. Well, you need to stop letting your emotions dictate like your results. Like when I was telling you to open, you were like, man, I just don't feel it. Okay, well, there's many nights I don't feel it. Tonight, I didn't feel it on program. Like tonight, honestly, if I'm being honest, tonight I did not feel like teaching. Not because I had a bad day, I had a great day, and I think you guys are fucking awesome. But when I got into the club, the vibe, I just didn't feel like I was doing good. It's just me, my own game. So I felt kind of insecure about that. But I still did it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm on program, you guys paid me thousands of dollars, I have to do my job, right? So I mean, like, and you paid thousands of dollars, so fuck it, you have to perform. Like, not perform like you're on a TV show, but you have to perform and you have to learn and get reference. So when I'm like, I'm not mad. By the way, I'm actually not mad at you. I'm not mad. I got mad at you, but I'm not mad at you because I don't think that you bullshitted yourself. I think you actually tried, and I'm proud of you for that. So I'm not getting on you hard. Maybe tomorrow I would, or maybe I wouldn't, but I'm not mad. There's a difference in the way I'm coaching you right now. So I'm more so saying, like, cheer up. Don't bullshit yourself. You did better than you thought. Like, you don't let your emotions dictate your results. If I feel like tonight, for example, let's say maybe tonight, like, you guys would have pulled, and had come like if him, I probably would have ended up pulling, but I felt like shit. Like, I did feel like shit, but I still would have ended up pulling. Why? Because my emotions are separate than my results. Like, I can feel like shit, but I'll still pull. So the next girl you meet, all you have to do is say, hey, stand up, come here, and you can feel like shit. Do you need to feel great to be like, hey, you, come?
Yeah.
Do you need to feel great to do that?
No, you just need to say it.
No, you need to say it, and you tried it, and it worked. Yeah. Same thing with you. You were like, fuck, leading, how does it work? And I was like, do the exercise now, and the exercise worked.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Most guys don't realize, like, when I coach, like, if you do the words I tell you to do, like with that girl, if you would have done like, hey, back over here now, I fucking miss you, it would have worked. Even if you didn't think it was gonna work, it would have worked if you would have faked it. Like, be an actor. So for tomorrow for you, what we're gonna work on is kind of similar to what we did tonight, but I think that you're actually good with the process. Like, you actually do it. Like, you were doing the process better than he was. The problem, like, you guys are very opposite actually. Your issue is not process. Your issue is that you, again, just don't like think that you're amazing, I think. Honestly, I don't think that. And you are just not assertive enough as a man. But I think once you get a girl that's into you, you're like, fuck, I am amazing. Now I can do whatever I want because I've seen you do it, which is why you were making out with that chick the other day. Because it's like, once you realize the girl's like, she likes me, then you're like, I'm amazing. But you need to start off pretending you're amazing. Whatever reason why I say pretend is because you don't have the proof of it yet. So you have to start pretending you're amazing, and then it will fucking work. Okay, so tomorrow we're gonna do exercises about that. A lot of exercises, opening exercises and leading exercises. I'm probably gonna have you like get very, very physical, like without speaking actually. Like, I'm probably gonna have you do an exercise where you like get physical and lead without actually saying anything. Because I want you to realize that it actually works and girls like wanna fuck your brains out. You need to understand that, okay? Let's go over a few questions you guys may have from the night. Things that you kind of didn't understand, or maybe things that I did that you were like, how did that work, or why did it work?
So when you say like detach, like your
I'm listening, go ahead.
Like your emotional aspect from like the process and actually, you know, when you're gaming.
Yeah.
So I should just like pretend like I'm already. I don't know how to phrase it. But, like,
I know what you're asking. No, you shouldn't pretend that you feel awesome. What you should do is you should say, I'm comfortable with how I feel, but I'm still going to do these certain steps.
Okay.
Right? For example, I'll give an example with me teaching, right? So when I'm on program, if maybe you guys noticed tonight I did a little less game than I did yesterday. Why do you think I did less game than I did yesterday?
Because you were teaching us?
Focusing more
No. Oh, yes, that actually is a part of it, yes. You notice I also was much more hands-on tonight, but the other reason is because I didn't feel as confident in my game. And again, I don't like to bullshit people. I'm not one of those instructors that's not going to tell you. Tonight I felt less confident in my game, so I did less demonstrations. Because I didn't think they would work as much. Because what happened when I first came in, you guys didn't see it. It looked fine probably, and it looked amazing. But the vibes I was getting from girls were not like, they weren't melting for me like, fuck me daddy, like I usually get. It was more like, what kind of guy are you? And I don't get that from girls, so I didn't like that. So I didn't demonstrate because I wasn't as confident it would work. But at the same time, what did I keep telling you when we were out? As an instructor, what did I keep saying? I said, I'm probably going to do 1 or 2 demos for you. And I was looking for girls to demonstrate with, and I kind of did show you 1 or 2 things. The reason why is because I have to do my job. Right? Did I feel good? No. Did I tell myself, I feel awesome, I can do this? No. I was like, it probably won't fucking work, but I know that when I open, it usually works. Then I have to do my job, and I have to show you this, so I'm going to do it. So in your case, let's reframe it now. So you was like, oh, emotions, oh, I feel like shit, great, okay, girls don't like me, I'm feeling like I'm having a shitty night, environment's stifling me, blah, 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 economy's crashing, whatever, right? Okay, but I want to get laid, and the best way you get laid is by interacting with a girl and being a fucking man about it. So you look at her, you're like, this is the exercise I'm going to have you do tomorrow. So pull her towards you, arm, walk with me. Do it. While you're freaking out. Freak out, feel miserable, but do that. That's what I mean. Don't trick yourself into thinking you feel good. That's when you fail. When you're like, I feel awesome. That's what I was trying to do at the beginning, actually. That's why I know why I wasn't feeling the right vibe. That's what I was doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Solid.
So I guess hard. So which moments did you see that I was?
The screen feels actually really nice right now.
So which moments did you see that I was being more assertive? Do you mean like I just
One was
read
when
better?
you fucked the tranny. That was amazing. When you bathroom pulled her, we were just like, come here, daddy. I'm like, fuck you.
It's like, don't get me on the camera.
Dude, she was like
30
she was a very feminine one. Post op.
Oh.
She only had like half the dick. It was still received. Exactly. It doesn't count as a lay or like a tranny. It's just like a, you don't speak about it.
Gray area. Just crack the cold one with the boy. One of the boys.
No, but seriously, so what you're saying, when is the moments where you noticed that you were being assertive?
Yeah.
Just the exercise the exercise I had you do, you did it very well. When you isolated the two girls, you told them come with me, and they just followed you. And when you tried it with the first girl on the first part of the exercise, and it almost worked, but her friend cockblocked.
Oh yeah.
I was very happy with that because I was like, that's great, and you're not hesitating. So it's within you. You just need to do the action. You, again, him is different. It's not that you don't think it's gonna work. I know you think it's gonna work. You just don't do the action because you've trained yourself to not do that action. He doesn't think it's gonna work. Once he realizes, like, you guys are different. Once you realize that you're like, I feel like you could be elite at game. Like, once you realize that this shit works, you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this all the time. You though, your problem is that you just don't try it first. It's not like you don't think it's gonna work. You just don't try it because it's a habit for you. You've probably done so much game the wrong way that you don't do it.
That's probably accurate. Pretty accurate.
But I saw it like during exercise. It was good. Your game changed once, like midway through. We did the exercise around 1 o'clock. Once we did that, I noticed you were getting constant good feedback from girls. You probably noticed it too.
Yeah.
It was good. Tomorrow though, we need to convert that into a poll, which is you have to do what? Follow the
process.
Thank you. Yes.
So to come to that like realization you were talking about,
Yeah.
it's just a matter of like getting the right reference.
Essentially, yeah. This program is helping you with that, but yeah, you have to. Yeah, ultimately, it's just doing it. Right. Yeah. Yes, gentlemen. What time is it? 2:45. Cool. I hate how the streets here die out early, but I guess, gentlemen, that can be a wrap for tonight.